Unlock incredible savings with Quello Concerts. Get 50% off our yearly and 2-year plans and enjoy unlimited access to the world's best concerts and music documentaries. Stream legendary performances anytime, anywhere for as low as $44.99 a year. It's the perfect gift for anyone who loves music. Visit stingray.com/deal. Start streaming the world's best shows today.
I'm getting a Eagle as well for the Vancouver Canucks. He's got a reputation, I know, but it was clean. Here's nervous.
And it's new. Plus, he'll want it too. And then he'll always thank me for introducing him to the McVeggie.
4. Game on the line right here. He takes Murray. He ducks under. Boots for the win.
Put yourself a McVeggie meal for just $9.99 plus tax for a limited time only at participating McDonald's restaurants.
At jackpotcity.net, you can do amazing things with just one casino chip. Discover a world of incredible casino games with over 500 high-quality online slot games, including the world-renowned progressive jackpot slot Mega Move. Play for free at jackpotcity.net and get treated as a VIP 24/7. So visit jackpotcity.net today on your tablet, laptop, or mobile. Jackpot City. A whole world of casino games.
The Jason Gregor Show.
Ball fake. Into Kobe. Checked by Avdia. Down to 5. Down to 4.
Tasting just so right. You can noodle at noodle.ca. Almost right away. Remember, you can order noodle at noodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order noodle.ca. Noodle.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show.
Ball fake. Into Kobe. Checked by Avdia. Down to 5. Down to 4. Game on the line right here. He takes Murray. He ducks under. Boots for the win.
Has done it again. Put some respect on Bucci Main's name. Bang, bang, bang. Late game killer. We're coming back to Chicago
On Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Moonshot. Across to McDavid. Cross ice. One-timer score. Trent passes it to 5-4 on a beautiful feed from McDavid. Drexel. Power play goal.
Just much more urgency on this power play. Passes are quick.
Well, a tremendous Thursday afternoon. How are you? Welcome to the Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, Sports 1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. As always, brought to you by our title sponsor, PlayAlberta.ca, where we've partnered up with Play Alberta, and now we have a new opportunity for you. So you go to PlayAlberta.ca and you click on sports, and then right on the left side, you will see the Jason Gregor Show. And click on it, and you will see you have a special bet of the day. And ours is hey, we got to start with the parlay, which of course is the Bills minus 5.5 points. Like, seems like a no-brainer for me, Con Man, on the taking on. Well, they got a fairly. There's never a guarantee in sports, but I like the Bills tonight. And Oiler fans, I think many of you have witnessed what I call a horror film, because it's predictable. You know, when you watch a horror movie and you're sitting down, and then all of a sudden, Connor decide go in the room, and you're like, don't go in the room, don't go in the room. They go in the room, and they're done. It's like a mid-tier horror flick. You know what's coming. Yeah, don't go in there. Don't go outside. They do it, and they die. And basically, that's like watching an Oilers game right now. As you're pretty much, what's coming. A bad turnover, a bad giveaway, not getting a timely save, and you lose. It's kind of been rinse, wash, repeat. So the Bills on the road, minus 5.5. And then and we combine that with an over for the Oilers and the Lightning at 6.5. Like, geez. The Oilers have allowed a league high 4 or more goals 11 times this season. Yowzer. So check out the day special. It's new every day on the Jason Gregor Show. You click there, you see it, and good luck. We'll keep a running tally to see how it does all the time. So check it out at playalberta.ca. So you get a little odds boost with it, a little bit better. So there you go. Konza, what do you think of our first one? Confident? What are you more confident that's going to happen? The over or the Bills win by 6?
The over. I mean, like I said, I think the Tampa Bay Lightning could get that themselves in this one tonight. But I like your pick for the Bills to cover. I will say I do think in football defensively, rush and cover goes hand in hand. The Texans can rush, they can cover.
Yeah.
But the Bills should still win by a touchdown. So, yeah, I think you got a pretty good pick here tonight.
Well, the Bills, just based on the recent play here, I think they're a team that kind of wants to start finding their game, right? A little bit more consistency. So that's another reason why.
And I think, maybe I'm wrong, but I think Josh Allen, primetime games, likes to put on a bit of a show. So
that's actually a very good point.
I could see him going balling out tonight.
Yeah. Well, and no CJ Stroud again. So
yeah,
that's another reason why. That's why I stayed away from the over-under on that one, because I have no idea. Like, you could win 20-14 and it wouldn't be a big one. But the Oilers last night, oh my goodness. The first period, capital U ugly. It was a real tough first period for Brett Kulak. He was on the ice for a total of 2 minutes and 37 seconds. He was on for his first 3 shifts. Each time the opposition scored a goal against. Like, that's got to be I might have to get to the NHL stats. Say, can you look? When was the last time a player was on the ice on his first 3 shifts and the opposition scored? Every time. Could you get me a water, please? So there you go. It was an ugly first 20 minutes for the Oilers. Slowly got better in the second. I thought the third period was easily their best period. Unfortunately, you're battling to get back in the game. And at some point, your goalie needs to make a save. I'm not expecting the goalies to make out-of-this-world saves because I don't think they're out-of-this-world goaltenders. But at some point, there's got to be a stop. And when I look at that 5th goal for Washington, so Tomasic had just scored. It's 4-3. You're thinking, okay, here we go. You know what? Fourth line goal. It was actually a really nice goal. Great set of hands in tight by Tomasic, right? Thank you for the water, Connor.
No problem.
And then Washington comes down. It's a pretty clear 2-on-1. It wasn't a late developing play. And Strome is coming down the right side, so on Skinner's left. Strome's on his backhand. So you need your goalie to read the play. How much of a shooting threat is he at that point? And if you go back and watch the replay, Skinner moved a little bit to his left, which then means, so if you move 4 inches left, now you got to go an extra 10 inches to get back if you want to go in the right spot. Right? That's the difference. 8 inches, excuse me. That's the difference. So even if you go 6 inches one way, now you got to go a foot to get that back. So Strome's coming down that side, and he's on his back. He's on his backhand, right? It would have been a good save. It's a 2-on-1. Anytime there's a 2-on-1, if your goalie makes a save, it's a good save. But it didn't turn out to be like, oh my God, in order for him to make the save, it would have been unreal. Because it wasn't, right? And why? Because Skinner was late. He moved a little too much left, and now he couldn't get back right. And then not only when he read it across, two things. Because the guy coming down the left side is on his forehand, the puck takes a little bit longer to get to that side. He's a left shot, right? If he's a right shot, then you can come inside. So it's coming out farther. Could have had his blocker up and in front of him because that catches the angle even more. Like there was just lots of technical errors on that goal. And I'm not expecting your goalie to stop every odd man rush. Far from it. I don't really have an issue with any of the goals in the first period. You give up 3 goals in the first. I know everyone's like, yeah, but it's not. I don't care how many shots it is. They're really good chances, like deflections. Really hard to blame a goalie on those, right? You lose a battle behind the net. It's not the goalie's fault. But the 5th goal I didn't like, and even the 4th goal, Leonard comes by, and it's just like, although Leonard actually made a pretty good play, it looks like, he kind of hesitated, and then you kind of get stuck in no man's land. But it's the 5th goal for me that I'm just like, you got to get a better read there. You got to get a better read. So goaltending hasn't been good enough all year. And frankly, the defensive zone coverage of the Oilers this year, well, it's been the worst we've seen. Especially at 5-on-5. And I got the numbers for you. Because you know me, we can have opinions. I like to back it up with facts. So the Edmonton Oilers are allowing, now, are you sitting down? Are you sitting down? Brace yourself. They're allowing 2.63 goals against per game just at 5-on-5. 2.63 goals against 5-on-5. Last season, the worst team in the NHL at allowing goals 5-on-5 was the Chicago Blackhawks. And they were at 2.52. That was the worst in the league last year. The Oilers are right now, 22 games in, 2.63. Awful. Last year, they were at 2.09. The year before, 1.86. Then 2.04, 210, 207, 214, 217, 214, 1.7 back in 2017, and then 207. So basically, in the low twos, right? Anywhere from 204, 207, 209, 210, that's kind of where they're at. They're at 2.63 per game. It's killing them. Absolutely killing them. 5-on-5. So they got to wake up. Otherwise, the season's going nowhere. Right? So that's the problem. That is the big problem. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. You can text us in our inbox. We got a loaded show for you today. We will, of course, we're going to talk Oilers in Tampa Bay later on. DeAndre Liu will join us. I'll have David Owens in studio. We got Terry Ryan will be joining us. Justin Bourne to talk some NHL. We got Cam Tate and much, much more. Also, Mike Rupp. And he will join us now as we get to our Around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's. And how about $9.99 for the meal? You get the McChicken or the filet of fish, and then you mix it with medium fries and a medium drink for only $9.99 right now at McDonald's. Is Mike Rupp, former NHLer from NHL Network. Join us, Rupper. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
Oh, I am better than the Oilers. I can tell you that. Their defensive play, their goaltending. I don't know if you heard the numbers. 2.63 goals against 5-on-5, Rupper. There's some teams that will be 2.7 goals total against. The Oilers are 2.63 5-on-5, and it's been like a comedy of errors. I don't know if you watched the first period or not last night at Washington, but Brett Kulak played 3 shifts and was on the ice for 3 goals. His first 3 shifts, they scored on every shift. On the first one, he's going back for a puck. The second one loses a battle. On the other one, Tom Wilson comes out of the corner. He's in front of Wilson. He lets Wilson get positioned down low. He has a stick off the ice, doesn't cover his stick. It's a tap home rebound goal for Wilson. Third goal, he didn't really have much of a play on. It's the end of his shift. He looked a little tired. Okay. But like he is, how about this, Rupp? Are you sitting down? In the month of November, he's played 10 games. He's been outscored 15-0 5-on-5.
Oh man. Those are tough numbers. I mean, what do you say to that? In the first goal of the game, because I was sitting there and the goaltending, I know this has been a thing that everyone is talking about. And that is a problem. It certainly is a problem with both guys, but it doesn't just stop there. And I don't think you're saying that as well. I mean, they're not doing a lot of things in front of the goalies either. And even on the first goal, it's just when you have layers of error on plays, that's where it becomes troublesome, because you should have layers in your team. You can get beat on a play, and then that's where you have another layer of somebody else backing you up or having a goaltender make a save. But right now, Edmonton's not getting any of those. Like the first goal, the Protas tap in, it was the same thing. You had two Washington Capital players on the glass, and if you fast forward about 3 seconds, those two guys are alone in front of the net together. So, like, and that shot kind of comes in. That's a bad rebound for Stuart Skinner to give up, but there's also some bad play in front of him. So I don't know where you go from here. I mean, this is the wrong time too. This is a nasty trip that they're on. I mean, the fact that they got to be right back at it here tonight. You just want this over, but you got to start seeing something here. And there's so many layers to their lapses that I don't know if they're going to be okay. I really don't.
Yeah. Well, it's one that I know that not historically, but just at least the last 3 seasons, he has been, the Oilers have started slow. So I get it. So, maybe it's in their DNA, whatever. Maybe there's
let me ask you this. I don't want to, sorry to interrupt you there, because this came up the other day and I was like, all right, we keep revisiting that. And you correct me, and some of your listeners would probably be able to tell me better. Am I forgetting, like, has it been this bad? Like, has it been this bad? I know there's been coaching changes. It's been bad, but has it looked this lost that we're seeing right now? That's a genuine question.
Yeah, it's a fair point. I went through it. It's been different, right? Like last year, their penalty kill was like 60%.
Yeah.
They were getting absolutely destroyed there. Their goals against, because I looked at it, actually, funny enough, I was looking at their 5-on-5. Last year, through 22 games, they gave up, this year they've given up 58 goals, 5-on-5. Last year was 46. The difference was all the extra goals against came on 5-on-5. So they was it as ugly as this? Not 5-on-5, but in other elements it was. So it's different, but at the end of the day, Rupper, it's kind of the same result, right? Like you're not playing well, and you got a lot of guys who aren't playing well, and like the Oilers. I don't think I'd have to look. I don't think they've given up this many goals overall, but I think it's close, right? Like that's just their 5-on-5 play right now is the worst in the NHL.
Yeah, and that's no place to. That's the worst one to have, and so you could live with and you could deal with. You say it's 60% PK. Like eventually you can kind of start picking at that, making those numbers climb. I mean, the game is 5-on-5, and this is a team that usually isn't this bad in that. They're actually pretty strong 5-on-5 in past seasons. It's just not the case right now.
No, it is pretty ugly. I'm looking at the Oilers. Well, last year their offense wasn't as proficient as they are now. But last year through 22 games, they had 24 points. Right? They're 11-9-2. But I do agree with you. Like they've only got 4 regulation wins this year, right? Yeah. They've been relying on some extra time. Now they had 4 extra time wins last year at this time. So there's not much difference really overall, except they're giving up more goals, but they're scoring more goals. So that kind of evens it out. Last year at this time, their penalty kill was 70%. Their power play was only 15%, funny enough, in their first 22 games. And then it woke up. So you look and say, well, geez, their power play is really good. It's not going to get any better, right? It's 30%. So they won't improve there. Their penalty kill is pretty good. It all comes down to 5-on-5, which is the majority of the game. So you do bring up a valid point. It's easier maybe to fix like the short areas of hey, power play eventually will show up. And it did. But the 5-on-5 play is a bigger time of the game. And when I look at the Oilers and just their willingness right now, Rupper, to make the game too easy for the opposition, I found has shown up on a fairly consistent basis.
So, I mean, this is the exact same thing you're saying, but in different words. They're too easy to play against. They're not hard enough to play against.
Yeah.
And that is such a used phrase in hockey, but it's so valuable because it could look 100 different ways. Like there's guys that are very difficult to, let me think of an example in the league. Guys that are difficult to play against that are not physical. I'm not talking about in your own right, whatever your own way of your skill set is, be difficult to play against in those situations. I mean, you just think of like a great skating. Here's one I'll just use from when I played, and he still plays in the league now. Like a Jared Spurgeon from the Minnesota Wild. He's a teammate of mine. He was so difficult to play against because he was so smart. And you get him in the corner, and that was usually my bread and butter because I was so big. He was hard to play because he would strike at the right time, very intellectual. He'd get under your hands. He understood that he wasn't going to win the physical battle, so he had to win the brains battle, and he certainly did that. It doesn't have to be a certain way. When I say hard to play against, doesn't mean you got to run guys through the board. Just battle for pucks. Be smart. If you're not that big, well, then you better use some other attribute to be difficult to play against. Make a better read. Anticipate. Stopping and starting. Anything you want to. Get in the way. I mean, these are all certain attributes that I don't think this team's bringing right now. And I go back to, and it's probably a moot point to bring up because the guys aren't there anymore. But there are guys that over the last couple of years that have been very difficult to play against that are not there any longer. So now all of a sudden, if you're a new guy there, like you've got to pick up that slack. Who's going to be that guy for this Oilers team? No one's claimed it yet.
No. I look at their team and they just, it's on a different night, it's different things. That's the problem, right? It's not like, okay, there's one guy. Like Brett Kulak, ever since he came to Edmonton, has been like Mr. Reliable, not flashy, right? Just third pair, number 5 defenseman. Sometimes it can be a number 4 defenseman, plays big minutes, really reliable. No one ever complained about him. 10 games he's allowed being on the ice for 15 goals against. Like it's incredibly bad. Matthias Ekholm's not having a good year defensively. Jake Wallman not having a good year defensively. I'd probably have to be better off the list of guys who have been good defensively, and I'm not even sure there's a list that I would put on that one. You got guys, defensive turnovers, Draisaitl, McDavid, Ekholm, but guys are on like career high pace right now, which isn't good. And then, their fourth line and third line did contribute 2 goals. I know Nurse was one, but it was with the third line, and then the fourth line scored a goal. Those are their first 2 goals of the month last night, right? So it's an entire team effort, Rupper, and maybe that's good because you can't really have half your groom saying, geez, I'm playing really well. This is great. And the other guys aren't. This is one. So how do you get out of it? Like, what has to happen here? Like, because you can't just keep saying, well, we're a slow starting team. Like, somebody got to rile up somebody got to get in someone's face here. What has to happen inside that room?
Yeah, you've got to have, I always found in these situations, I've been in them before, and it stinks where at this point, it's the players. And there's nothing a coach can say that hasn't been said already. And Chris Knobloch, he's a good coach. This doesn't change that. But sometimes it's just the players getting on the same page and just almost just looking each other in the eye and just expecting more out of each other. So when you go out there, things were said to each other and maybe the right way, where now if you're taking shortcuts or you're not doing those things, now you can lean into each other and keep each other accountable even more. But I think it just starts with that, just to compete. It's not going to change overnight. Not one thing is going to change and all of a sudden this thing go the right way. You just need something to go your way. And honestly, that could be a goaltending performance. How about win a game that you don't deserve to win, but your goaltender makes those saves? We see that on a night-to-night basis in the NHL. But we haven't been seeing that here for the Edmonton Oilers per se. But on the other side too, you can argue, hey, why don't we not have these types of breakdowns? Like we are able to score goals, but keeping the puck out of our net, like you got to set little goals for yourself, for your line. And I think these things just being talked about with the players is going to go a lot further than with the coaching staff right now.
Mike Rupp joins us. Rupper, Bedard, Celebrini, something that hadn't happened since 1944. 20-year-old and younger, 2 of them each had a hat trick on the same night. The Chicago Blackhawks, Spencer Knight has been unreal for the Blackhawks, Rupper. Are you now? I know it's still early in the season, and there's lots of teams in the running this year maybe that we haven't seen this many teams within 2 or 3 points yet. But what do you make of the Blackhawks? Like, they're 6-2-2 now in their last 10. They're sitting with 24 points in 19 games. They're playing .632 points percentage hockey, which would be better than every team in the Pacific except the Ducks. Like, when do we have to start maybe considering that Chicago might be a playoff contender?
I think that when the next 20 games, when you get to that 40 game mark, I think it's a good litmus test. But they've been awesome. They've been phenomenal. I mean, you talk about a team that is competing in a way that they have not competed last year. I mean, they showed flashes at different times, but they're battling back in games. They're never out in hockey games right now. I mean, it starts from the top. It starts with a guy like Connor Bedard, and we've talked about it. Literally every category, every analytic is up for this guy. And I think a lot of it revolves around his skating. He's put the work in. He's hounding pucks. And I don't know. I mean, I'm not inside that room, but if he's taking it to another level, it kind of drags the rest of the team. That's at least what I found playing with superstars. But this is a team that maybe sometimes it's just you want respect. And I don't think I've given them very much respect as far as an organization the last couple of years, because it's been pretty rough watching the Chicago Blackhawks. And for whatever it is, I don't know what to put the finger on it exactly, but what I do know, they're a different team in the way they battle out there and compete, and they can score some goals, and they're getting great goaltending. You mentioned Spencer Knight. I mean, that's been one of the best surprises this year in the National Hockey League. What he's doing is awesome. That's why they get him and sign him to that extension, where a lot of people, I think, were scratching their head because he hasn't played a lot of hockey prior to getting that. But it's showing that was a really good move by the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah. Well, that trade, like, I know a lot of people thought, hey, you know what? Look at Seth Jones. Teams will take on salary, whatever. They got Spencer Knight in return, right? Like, it wasn't like you just gave up Seth Jones and Chicago's eating $2 million of his salary for the next, I think it's 3 seasons. But you also got Spencer Knight.
Yeah.
And other attributes. Spencer Knight right now is one of the top goalies in the league. Probably a guy who deserves to be on Team USA the way he's playing right now. So it's not like you just got a throw-in player with this. You got a legit starting goalie, and those guys are worth a lot.
Yeah. I mean, to have your franchise goaltender, and that's what we're seeing right now in that trade and signed and locked up. And here's the other thing, locked up before he's looked like this. So you got him at a rate. If he continues to play like this, you're going to have an absolute steal in Spencer Knight and what he's making. So I love that type of stuff. And here's the big thing too. This team has had a ton of talent. And the dangerous part that I thought looking at them was having so much talent, but no identity and maybe structure and how you're supposed to play. That's a scary place to be in the NHL because it can go either way. But now they established that. So you're starting to see players develop. You're starting to see them do the right things, make the right decisions. I think the future is really bright, where if you rewound this 3 months ago, I probably would have been like, I don't know. I mean, this can go either way. Right now, it looks pretty good for the Chicago Blackhawks in the next few years.
Yeah, really good. Rupper, always good to catch up with you, buddy. We will chat with you on the rundown tomorrow.
Awesome, buddy. Enjoy. Talk to you.
It's Mike Rupp from the NHL Network, also my co-host on the Daily Face-Off Rundown podcast at 2:25. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley. We're going to get to some thoughts on the Oilers as they get set to take on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Eek. If you are a believer that the past is a sign of the future, tonight might not be good for the Edmonton Oilers. We'll break it down for you next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
You're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado. There's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique family-owned independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
The Electrical Solar Team is now making a play for sustainability and savings. They're specialists in powering up for a greener future.
That's the strategy, designing and installing high-efficiency solar panels. They're helping homes and businesses combat rising utility costs by harnessing the power of the sun.
A smart move for efficiency and the environment. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
For one day only, Friday, November 21st, The Brick is releasing Black Friday deals early. Get a sneak peek at the hottest offers on furniture, mattresses, appliances, and electronics. Save 65% off sofas when you buy the matching love seater chair, up to 50% off mattresses, and up to $1,000 off when you buy 2 or more select major appliances. Plus, they pay the GST. Check out more one-day only deals and additional offers in-store. Some exclusions apply. See in-store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth. Fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
Looking for the perfect gift? Give the gift of great taste with a Loca Quality Market gift card. Redeemable at any Loca Quality Market or Loca operated restaurant. It's a treat for food lovers. Ready anytime. Grab yours today at loca.ca.
Bring in the new year with a Canadian country legend. December 31st, in concert at the Silent Ice Center in Nisku. Brett Kissel. She drives me crazy. Multiple CCMA and Juno Award winner, platinum-selling recording artist, and top 10 hitmaker. Celebrate the new year in Alberta, country style. Bring your friends, your cowboy boots, and your party spirit for a night full of hits, celebration, and unforgettable memories. The countdown to 2026 starts with Brett Kissel live on stage. Get your tickets now at silenticeCenter.com/events.
This Black Friday, unlock incredible savings with Quillo Concerts. Get 50% off our yearly and 2-year plans and enjoy unlimited access to the world's best concerts and music documentaries. Stream legendary performances anytime, anywhere for as low as $44.99 a year. It's the perfect gift for anyone who loves music. Visit stingray.com/deal and start streaming the world's best shows today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
2:31. Welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley. Ooh, people are fired up. I like it. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Greg's, what was that? Well, what's the bet special? Well, easily just go to playalberta.ca. And when you click on sports, right on the left-hand side, you'll see a brand new banner. It says the Jason Gregor Show. You can click on it, and it has our daily fun one. Today, we did a little bit of a parlay, so go check it out at playalberta.ca. Good luck, though. We'll see. We'll keep a running tally. I get if you're like, I'm hesitant. Totally get it. But we'll keep a running tally. But I might lock it in today. The over for the Order Tampa Bay game, that might have been one of the easier decisions of our lifetime when you consider the goals that the Orders are allowing this season. Not great. Not great. The Orders have actually, now they've played the most games. They've allowed the most goals. If you go by goals per game, the Edmonton Oilers are still 29th in the National Hockey League. Not good. Not good at all, to put it lightly. Okay, let's get to the oil report now. Brought to you by Go Auto, where you can shop with over 15,000 vehicles at goauto.ca. 28 new vehicle brands, 69 locations to choose from. goauto.ca. And they also do tons in the community. How about donating $24 million to various charities and local projects? Pretty awesome. But the Edmonton Oilers, yeah, they are leaking goals right now. It is not good. And if you look at the amount of times, like they've They've given up 7. They've given up 9. They've given up 5 4 times. They've given up 4 goals another 5 times. So 11 times this season, the Edmonton Oilers have allowed 4 goals or more. That is most in the National Hockey League. They go into Tampa Bay tonight, where they have won once in the McDavid/Draisaitl era. Since 2015-16, the Oilers are 1-8. They had one win. It came in November of 2022 when Jack Campbell stopped 35 of 37 shots in a 3-2 win for the Oilers. That's it. Tampa Bay has pretty much dominated that series on home ice because in the other 8 games, in the losses, that was not good for the Edmonton Oilers. They were outscored 36-19, almost 2-1. 36-17, excuse me. So almost 2-1. So that is that's not good. Now, the advantage maybe is no Hedman tonight, no McDonough. The Lightning are going to have 4 defensemen dressed who have played fewer than 200 games. Darren Radish, 182. Emil Lilleberg, 132. Steven Santini, 125. And Charles-Edouard Dastou. Okay? He's played 12. So it is not a city where the Oilers have had tons of success by any stretch of the imagination. It's a team that, hey, they got a lot of skill. Now they're without some of their top guys. Will that guarantee a win for the Oilers? Far from it. Far from it. There were things I liked about the Oilers game last night, mainly offensively. But on the defensive side, it was an absolute train wreck. Again, especially in the first period. Like that first period was just awful defensively. Like the first 10 minutes, and even Skinner actually made some saves in the second half of the first period. Keep it close. They were just giving up chance after chance. But the Oilers in the third period, they kind of took over. Their offense is going, and then they couldn't get a save. I'm sorry, but Skinner's got to make a save on either the fourth or the fifth goal. Probably more. The fifth goal was the one I had. I don't know it's a 2-on-1, but look at why the save wasn't made. So you have Strome coming down the wing. He's on his backhand. And this was not a quick bang. It was, you kind of knew, you could read that play coming from outside the blue line. So you had time to react, to look and see, okay, Strome's on his backhand, the other guy's on his forehand. So 2 things go through your mind as a goalie there. The chances of that shot being a big threat on his backhand are low. But Skinner, if you watch him, he slowly crept over to his left. And then when he had to go, which means now he has to go even further to get back to the right side. Not good. Right? Plus, you have to know that that pass has to go farther because it's a left shot coming down on the left wing, right? His stick is on the outside of him, right? Think about it. Visualize the left shot coming down the left wing. Where's his stick? Right? So if he's passing that, it's going to have to go a little bit farther for him to catch it. That is a save that, would it have been a good save? Yes, but it wasn't like it didn't even have to be a great save because it wasn't a quick bang. All of a sudden, it's a 2-on-1 down low that just materialized out of nothing. You don't have time to react. He had lots of time to read that play, and I don't think he read the play very well. I don't think he played it very well. And then he comes across late, again, because he moved a little left, and he ends up having to go back now even farther and doesn't make the save. Give the Oilers credit. They scored, a minute later? It's 5-4. They had some chances, couldn't get it done. They give up 2 empty netters. Like the empty netters, whatever. I don't blame a goalie. I don't blame the team. And to get a shot blocked, live with it, and you move on. But you can't come out. Their first period was ghastly defensively. And it's not like if that happens once every 5 or 6 games, you kind of shrug your shoulders and be like, hey, you know what? Some nights you're not going to have it. And I can live with that. I think anybody can live with it when it's every now and then. But my goodness, when it's almost on a nightly basis right now, their defensive zone coverage. it's not good, man. It's not good at all. So, where do they go from here? That's the question. And so you have to look at this realistically. So I try to give a rational evaluation of the team. Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickard can play better. Yes. But they're not going to be elite. They're not elite goalies. They're not even like in the really good goalie department. Right? That's just not what they are. We've known that. That's what they are. So I don't get mad at a player when I don't ask them to be what they're not. You can't ask a guy to, hey, you know what? I'd really like you to be a first-line scoring winger. And if you're only a third-line scoring, third winger, well, then you're brutal. No. You're a good third-line winger. Okay. So Skinner in the right defensive environment can be serviceable and at times can be good. So that's one. Two, coaching. So I look at it and I've always, and you know this, Cons, I've said it many times. I don't love it when an assistant coach gets promoted to the head coach in their organization. Now, I know John Muckler won, so there's outliers. It can happen. But there's lots of assistant coaches who get promoted to the head coach in their organization. Doesn't work because it's a tough situation. Because usually when you're the assistant coach, you're the guy who's doing the patting on the back. Hey, man, great job. The head coach can come down hard sometimes, and the assistant coach is the guy who's there to boost you up. Now, every now and then, they'll still say, hey, man, you got to play better. Sure. But they're a little bit more of the conduit between the players, talk a little nicer, joke around with them, because that's what you need. You just do. So Mark Stewart has been with the team for a few years. He oversaw the penalty kill, so he works with the defenseman, but he wasn't deciding who's on the ice, when, or where. That was Paul Coffey. Now he's that guy. It hasn't been great. Now, Paul Coffey didn't use video. Stewart uses video. Great. Is your message getting across properly? So far, no. And the other thing is, maybe you got to do a little bit more screaming and yelling. Now, maybe they do that behind the scenes. I don't know, but you can demand it. Like Paul Coffey was very direct. He told his guys when it came in, I expect you to make plays. And if you're too scared to make plays, I'll find guys who will make a play. That's simple. I'm not going to get down on you if you make a mistake, but you got to make a play. I don't know what the messaging is from Stewart. Maybe it is really strong and they're just not listening. But how can you have the same defense core and be this ghastly defensively? The coach has to take some responsibility, and not just the defense coach, the head coach. At the end of the day, the buck stops there. So, like Brett Kulak, I mentioned it last night, gets scored on in his first shift. And he did not tie up his guy going to the net. He was closer to the net. He let Wilson get past him, go to the net, rebound. He's part of the gut problem. Second goal, he's the first guy back to a loose puck. Slows down, doesn't win the battle. They come around, they score on the. Now, if he gets back and gets the puck, maybe the play never materializes. So he's a direct impact on the first two goals. His third shift of the game ends up being out there for a minute 7, so maybe there's a little fatigue. It's kind of a broken play on the left wing wall, right? It goes off Emberson's stick, comes to Leonard in full speed. They're kind of caught in no man's land. No fault of his own. Gets beat again. 3 shifts, 3 goals. Now, remember, prior to this game, the first 9 games of the month, Kulak had been on the ice for 12 goals against, no goals for. Now, in 3 shifts, it's up to 15 goals against. Why is there not a reset there? You have 7 defensemen dressed. And I watched Brett Kulak play. I really like Kulak's game. He's been Mr. Steady. But watch him last night. He was fighting the puck. He's hesitating on he's clearly lacking confidence. An average guy like myself can see it. So you got 7 defensemen dressed. Why is not the time to say, okay, you know what? Hey, Brett, exhale, let's reset. No, none of it. So if you're never doing it, you did it to Bouchard once, you did it to Nurse once. You should be able to do it to anybody at different times. I firmly believe you have to have that. And right now, it's not working. Okay? You've got to send a stronger message of the consequences to this team. So that's where I think the coach comes in. Now I'll move to the general manager. And you made the decision in the offseason that you're going to go with Skinner and Pickard. That was your decision. It's 22 games in. It's the wrong decision. Now, you can't change that, but guess what? You're the only guy who can control the fact of other goalies coming in. Coach can't control that. Goalies can't control it. It's just the GM. Now, you have Connor Ingram in the minors, and he played a good game again. So he's played 3 games. One was excellent. He had actually, one was excellent, one was very good, one was good. Or sorry, 3 were bad and 2 other good, and 1 good, 2 above average good. So fine. And the last 2 have both been good. So that's a good stretch. Now, they play this weekend back to back. He's obviously going to play in one of them. And then they have one more game at the end of the month. So at most, he's probably playing 2 games. So that'll be up to 8 games. If the next 2 are solid, you could bring him up and you put Calvin Pickard on waivers. That's a move. And I'm telling you, if Ingram plays well in those 2 games, you can't wait any longer. Right? You can't wait any longer. So we'll see. I listen to it's players got to play better. Okay? Coaches got to coach better. GM better. Everybody's in this. Don't try to pick out one person as it's the problem, because it's not. It's the entire team right now. The Oilers as a team are giving up way too many goals. Goalie can't make a big save. Defense is leaky all over the place. You had your third and fourth lines didn't have a goal in the month until yesterday. Like, there's a lot of problems here. Draisaitl, McDavid, Ekholm, these guys are on pace for the most defensive zone giveaways of their careers by a long shot. Those are guys who play the most minutes, right? Everybody's got to be better on this team. And so they got to start looking in the mirror. They can't be pointing, well, this guy's got, no. There's no one that looks, hey, you know what? I've been playing pretty well here. Like maybe, like Matt Savoy's a rookie. I'm not going to get on him. He's fine. He's a rookie. I don't have high expectations of a rookie. But your big guys, your goaltender, your defense core that's supposed to be one of the best in the league is playing trashy right now. This isn't a trailer park. Play better. So there's my thoughts on it. Hey, Greggs, are you saying it's not all on the goalie coach? Hey, Cat Dad. Remember how many people yelled at me when I said Dustin Schwartz wasn't the problem? Just saying. Just saying. You can only do so much. I think the goalie coach helped at times. Now, if the goalie coach was here, would the defensive zone coverage be any better? I don't think so. So these 2 goalies aren't good enough to constantly save the bacon when your team is that bad defensively. Okay, that's and there's not many who are, right? There's not many who are. You when you have that low of an expected goal save percentage, guess what? And your goalies aren't elite, you're going to give up a lot of goals. But that being said, the goalies can still play better. Stuart Skinner last night's got to come up with a save in that third period. I'm sorry, it's got to be. That's got to be a save on that 2-on-1. Quick break. We'll return to the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Stories are told to make a point, and GS Construction takes them very seriously. We're not talking about fairy tales. GS Construction looks at the story old pipes tell us, a tale of time and pressure and endurance. So when those old pipes are ready to end their story, GS Construction starts a new chapter by repairing or rebuilding, or in some cases, renewing the underground infrastructure that supports our modern lives, making sure every community's story continues on safely and reliably. For more, visit gsconstruction.ca.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need: Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
At Papa John's, our butter chicken pizza is a Canadian favorite, and we think we know why. We start with a velvety, tangy, and subtly sweet sauce. Then it's our better ingredients: fresh, never frozen original dough, juicy grilled chicken, and crunchy green peppers and onions. Sounds delicious, right? Well, wait till you try it. It's butter chicken made better. Order your large butter chicken pizza today for only $19.99. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Proudly locally owned and operated.
I'm making my list, checking it twice. And guess what? I'm giving Will Hawk beef jerky to everyone, naughty and nice. Because honestly, everyone deserves a taste of Alberta's finest, no matter if they've been bad or good. So this holiday season, skip the chocolates and pass on the turkey. Make sure you're Will Hawking around the Christmas tree with Alberta's best beef jerky. Ho, ho, ho!
Call to place your pre-order today at 780-986-2537.
A huge thank you for making Sports 1440 the most listened to sports radio station in Edmonton. From Gregor to Carius to Low Tide, we've got in-depth analysis on all your favorite sports. We are Sports 1440.
The job won't wait. Why should you? At AWS Welding Supplies and Repairs, conveniently located in Nisku, we've got everything you need to get it done. From product sales to servicing and calibrating machines, we're your one-stop shop. We're a proud, locally owned and operated business, committed to serving our community with a proven track record of customer service. Don't let a broken tool slow you down. We offer fast repairs and free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the only place to call for heating your home. So when it's time to replace your old furnace,
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
or for 24-hour repair with no overtime rates.
Call Legacy.
Legacy even heats your shower with hot water tanks.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
And with no interest and no payments for 1 year, it could only be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
More fruit?
Check.
Satisfying texture?
Check.
3 amazing new recipes?
Check, check, check.
Let Booster Juice bowl you over with something completely different. 3 new acai bowls, loaded with delicious toppings including bee pollen, cacao nibs, and shredded coconut. Piled high on top of a refreshing blend of authentic acai, straight from Brazil. Spoon?
Check.
Booster Juice, Canada's original juice and acai bowl bar.
I hear the train.
Backed by popular demand, Folsom Prison Revisited. The story of one of the greatest concerts in history returns to the Jubilee Auditorium this Saturday. Step back in time before, during, and after this iconic Johnny Cash performance. You'll relive an event that changed the life of Johnny Cash and changed music forever. Tickets at Ticketmaster.ca and the Jubilee box office. Brought to you by Stars and Stories Live.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Japa is digging deep on their 50-year history of supporting Alberta's construction industry with their line of special edition blackout excavators. Visit japamachinery.com for all the details.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Welcome back. Welcome back as we continue on Thursday. It is game day here on Sports 1440. Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Check it out. You have the new Jason Gregor Show daily special pick right at PlayAlberta.ca. And if I've ever been confident in over, considering how many goals that the Oilers give up, might be it tonight. The problem is, like any time with an over in the Oilers, is their offense going to show up? Last night, their offense is actually pretty good. You know, if you look at that game, it was a pretty even played game. Washington got a little bit better goaltending. Not much, just a little bit different. And a little bit better, and that was ultimately the difference. The Oilers, I didn't like their defensive play in the first period. It was awful. And that's why they had 3 goals against. Then they slowly got better. And in the third period, Skinner's got to make that save in that 2-on-1. I'm sorry. I broke it down online. You can read. We talked to Woodley about it. Like, I'm sorry. You got to read that play better. You got to make a save. That was not... A guy's coming down the wing on his backhand. You know he's passing the puck. You got to read that play better. So we'll see if they can be better tonight. Calvin Pickard, that's the only lineup change we're expecting for the Edmonton Oilers. Tampa Bay, no McDonough, no Hedman. Maybe there's a chance. Maybe. So you're telling me there's a chance. Gotta hold your hope onto something. We'll see. You know what, though? I'll tell you this. There's a chance you will like our next segment, a very good chance, because our next segment is all about you, Oiler fans, because right now you need something that we will discuss next. It's a Thirsty Thursday brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, 2 locations, Southside 50th Street, 92nd Ave, and of course the original location on the I guess the what is that, the northwest end of Edmonton on 118th Ave and St. Albert Trail. Check it out. When you like beer, cocktails, wine, spirits, alcoholic, non-alcoholic, I got it all at Sherbrooke Liquor. And David Owens joined us, feeling a little bit better today. How you doing?
Good now. I'm definitely getting there. If I turn the game off, then that doesn't contribute to any more concussion issues. I think,
it stresses
right?
your neck out,
Yeah,
right?
stresses the neck out, stresses the head out. No, yeah. So it was after the first, I turned it off, and I was like, I had better things to do last night.
I can see that. So today we got a mixed bag. What are we focusing on today?
Yeah, we got a big mix of stuff here. So we got this Saturday at just our Otwell location.
Okay.
It is it's open house time.
Oh.
Right. So we've got some great reps coming in, pouring a whole bunch of different things. So we've got some wine being poured, we've got some Calvados, we've got some rum.
Some what?
Calvados.
What's a Calvados?
So Calvados is usually a pear or apple brandy from the Normandy region in France, and and it is it's made with the cider and then aged in oak barrels.
All right.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Really?
It's delicious. It's amazing.
And what's it called again?
Calvados.
Calvados. I don't think I've ever had a Calvados.
Well,
oh, there you go.
I'll have to get you to try that.
So, but they're not beers.
No,
are they?
No,
Okay.
those aren't beers. And then we've got a whole bunch of beer there
So
also.
you'll have a beer tasting.
Yeah, so we've got Yukon Distillery is going to be there, Phillips, Sea Change.
So everything we're tasting today,
Everything they can taste.
all right.
These will be just a small sample of what we're going to be tasting on Saturday. And the best part of Saturday also there is you get to try some cool stuff there and see some cool people. But everything in the store, 10% off.
Okay. All right.
So if you're looking for some pre-holiday shopping, now's the time.
Okay. And so we're going to start with the Shitty's orange drink.
That's right. We're going to start with the Shitty.
And that's SHIDD.
DDS, that's right. This is Shitty's orange.
Yeah.
So this is part of the Sea Change group, and they made this to be kind of like just like that old orange drink you used to get from McDonald's when your mom took it to your soccer game.
It definitely looks like it.
It looks like it, and
smells very orangey.
It kind of tastes like it also.
It actually kind of.
It
actually kind of does. That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So that's just like that's just a vodka in a can.
That's right. Yeah, it's just a vodka beverage. Yeah, I think
that could be scary.
The nickname for this is I think the nickname for this, of course, they can't use is McShitties.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, fun, easy, and it's kind of dangerous because it's.
Oh my goodness.
But,
to get into those, very simple.
That's right. This is also gluten free. So for any of those people that are
really
dealing with that kind of stuff,
gluten free.
That's correct.
Ooh, the gluten-free orange vodka. It's pretty tasty.
Yeah.
Once you said the McDonald's orange drink, God,
That's
that's exactly,
right
and it
into it,
kind of
right?
does taste like it. Funny enough.
those big.
Oh yeah,
barrels.
those huge barrels they'd have you out.
That's
oh,
right.
God.
Mom would have apple
It was
slices.
so sticky.
That's right.
That's what
and
I
that
remember.
stuff.
I was just like, oh my goodness, those things. You're just sticky all over the place. But
So
yeah, I
good.
don't think they have those. I'm pretty sure they don't.
Probably not. Yeah, I don't think they're allowed to have that much sugar and anything these days.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
I don't know. You look at some of those.
Oh,
energy
yeah,
drinks,
well, there you go.
maybe,
Yeah.
maybe. All right.
So now we're moving on to the Yukon Brewing, and this is a zombie turbo rattler. So typically your
I
rattler.
gotta show this can just
That's
because.
right.
Look at that can.
So typically
Pretty sick.
rattlers are like a lighter alcohol, like 2.5% kind of idea, right? So
Okay.
it's a beer, almost a shandy kind of thing. So this is a sparkling blend of lager, tiki lemonade, popping with citrus and pomegranate juices.
God,
and
that's actually really
the
good.
zombie turbo is 6.5%. And it is spectacular.
So that's a beer.
Mm-hmm.
It almost smells a little spicy.
It does. It's almost like that. It's kind of got that crispy.
Like that has no
cinnamon-y,
real beer taste to it. Yes, it's got a little
right?
cinnamon
And
to
so you
it.
put that in a mug and you have after shoveling the
Oh,
walks, right?
yeah,
Stick of
yeah.
cinnamon. It's kind of got that thing going on.
Our neighborhood friend Michelle, she loves Rattlers. I might have to get her one of those.
Yeah.
Oof, all right.
Yeah. So if you're, if you're thinking you're going to have, a little light 2.5% or have a few of them, then be careful. This one's,
The Zombie Turbo, just the can itself is pretty sweet.
Right. Super
just
cool.
On that alone.
Super cool. Like and Yukon Dave will be there pouring. And Yukon Dave is the hardest working guy in the industry. And if you're really nice, he might even have some whiskey for you to try. So,
okay.
And
what time is this on Saturday?
I think this is pretty much all afternoon. Yeah, I think we're
like 1 to 5.
Yeah, I think we're about 12 to 5ish.
12 to 5. Okay.
Yeah. Well, if we're not, we will be anyways.
Okay.
Sales.
If not,
they
we'll
will
be there.
now.
Yeah, they will be now.
The team will be now.
We just
Surprise.
changed that. Somebody there's like, "Dang you, idiot!"
That's right.
Yeah.
All
right.
But discount, 10% discount will be all day.
Okay.
All right. So now we're moving on to Phillips Seasonal. This is their lift ticket. Winter ale.
Skiers.
Yeah, skiers. So this is they always like to get the big seasonal beers. This is all about winter bakery, kind of a winter bakery in a can idea. This is like 6.8. So you're getting a lot of that. There's a little bit of vanilla in there.
Yeah. Smells very delicious.
Smells very, It smells like a great Christmassy treat.
Yeah, that's just to me, that's just like a classic kind of dark, light dark ale.
Light dark ale. Yeah, with a little bit of that nice spice into it.
Yeah. Now this is one of my favorite beers. I've actually had this next one.
Yeah, this is great. So this is the Sea Change Irish Red Ale.
Sea Change Irish Ale.
And this is also one of my favorites.
I had it at their Beaumont location. That's the first time I had it.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm like, because I really like a good red ale, and this is a great beer.
Yeah, and red ales are hard to come by these days, really good ones, and they've got this one nailed. I'm really impressed with this one.
Yeah, no, that is if you like red ales, I will say Sea Change has lots of good beers for sure, but the Irish Red Ale.
Irish Red Ale. Yeah, I think we have Danny in store pouring that on Saturday, so I'll be excited to have him back in the store for a bit. Then we're moving back into Phillips again. And we've got this is their Tiny Party Little Hazy IPA. So this is only 3%. So this is a hazy IPA, but a little bit of a lighter alcohol content to it. Some of those hazies that are big bombs, right? So this is a fun little tiny party. Still has those great hazy tropical aromas to it.
It's a little tart.
A little bit tart, yeah. Well, and I think it's a little bit more just because there's not as much alcohol in it.
Yeah.
The alcohol is not sorting that out, where the alcohol will sometimes overcome some of that extra tartness. So you get a little bit of that in there.
Yeah. So if you like tarty,
tardy,
it out.
Don't be tardy, but come and try it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then last but
not least, we're back to Yukon, and this is their oatmeal stout. This is a rich, velvety, full of chocolatey flavor.
Oatmeal stout.
Oatmeal stout. That's correct. This is a absolute staff favorite at our store seasonally.
Oh God! For a stout beer, sometimes I find like it's going to hit you.
Yeah,
this is really smooth.
Yeah, it's just delicious. Yeah,
that is very goes down, and it's dark because I think a lot of people get turned off when they see a dark beer.
It is, yeah.
Right, like they got I kind of like to joke that you have the. You just don't have the palate yet, but it's more in your head that you think it's gonna it's gonna be so thick and it's gonna be a heavy meal.
Yeah.
And that's actually that is very smooth and light.
Yeah, totally. And there's some of the flavor points in there too, which is funny for you, but some people get that light espresso taste out of it too.
Don't say it.
But
now you get in my head. I didn't taste espresso the first time, but once you say it now,
you won't now. You like it. Now you like it. You've already said you like it.
No, I do like it, but it's subconsciously sometimes if you tell people the minute you say espresso, now I'm like, do I taste it? Maybe. Oh, maybe it is, but I didn't the first time at all.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It's a really nice balanced oatmeal stout. And sometimes you get a little heavy on the body, and this one's a really nice, light, easy to drink as well.
So, which one of these would you recommend for Oiler fans tonight to sit down into Tampa Bay to give yourself the courage to sit through that game?
Oh man, I'd go with that that lift ticket the zombie turbo rattler for sure.
Yeah, you might need that zombie turbo because I know some of you listening right now, you're going to watch the game because you're a sucker for punishment.
Suckers.
You can't look away.
All of us.
I've talked about it. Right now, the Oilers are that predictable horror movie.
Absolutely.
When Dave's going, Dave, don't go in the room, Dave. You're sitting there, you watch, like, how stupid are you? And they go in the room and then they get killed. And you're And we laugh, and it's kind of funny, that genre of horror. And that's what the Oilers are. They're like, uh-oh, don't make that pass. Makes the pass, goal against. Oh, don't lose that battle. Oh,
there it is. I got to tell you, this is like, previous to, tomorrow is going to be Positive Friday, right? And I love Positive Friday. I live on that also. But today is Gregor's Gripes.
Today will be. Today is, you just look at that team right now, and it's like that first period last night, I could not believe it. I could, and I'm sorry, because I really like him as a player, but last night would have been the time where the coach says, Brett, you can just sit here for a bit.
100%.
Because you're 0-15 now. And it's not one player, and I think Kulak is highly respected in the room. When he gets sat down, other guys like, oh my God, we got to get going here. And it just, they slowly woke up. But by then it's, he's played 3 shifts. They've been on the ice for 3 goals against. And
it's all right. It's always too little, too late.
Yeah, you can't rely on 2-goal comebacks all the time. You just can't do it. And then, you do make it come back and give him credit in the third, and then you don't get a save from your goalie. So it was, it's a rinse, wash, repeat with some of the errors right now. But I will say the Zombo Turbo Rattler. Zombie Turbo Rattler.
That's right.
So stop in at Sherbrooke tonight. Of course, tomorrow or Saturday, get down there, the tasting. And we just announced to change the time. It's noon to 5 at the Otwell location on 50th Street, 92nd Avenue. There's going to be all sorts of brewers there and wines. And what's that C word again?
Well, yeah, some Calvados.
Calvados.
I'm
never going to remember that.
That's
name.
A polite C word.
Yeah, it's very true. Yeah,
that's right.
So, some of you might use that other word watching the game tonight. But Calvados, no, you can watch that, and it'll be good. Awesome stuff, Dave. Thanks, man.
Hey, thank you.
Let's get to the con man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fountain Tire. You know what's coming, so don't wait. You're gonna have to change your winter tires because you don't want to be sliding through intersections. You don't want to get nowadays insurance is going through the roof. So get a winter tire, saves you a lot of money, and they'll help you out. 15% off fountaintire.com.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game day is the Oilers looking to bounce back down in Tampa. Puck drop 5:30. Our pregame coverage gets going at 4:30 here on Sports 1440. 11 other games on the ice, including the Canadiens and the Capitals. Jackets are in Toronto. Panthers host the Devils. Kraken taking on the Blackhawks. Canucks host the Stars. Sens in Anaheim, and the Sharks taking on the LA Kings. Week 12 in the NFL kicks off tonight. Texans hosting the Bills at 6:15. It is looking like Bills are wide out. Keon Coleman will be benched for the second straight week. And in the association, 4 games on the schedule. You got Magic Clippers, Kings and Memphis, Bucks host the Sixers, and the Hawks taking on the Spurs. Canadian hockey, they get out today that the OHL 12 Storm have been selected to host the 2027 Memorial Cup for the first time since 2002. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll ask 5 questions. Be joined by former NHLer Terry Ryan, and D'Angelo will join us to talk some Tampa Bay Lightning. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
It's Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. Since 2016, we've been at the forefront of hydraulic torque wrenches in Canada. I'm delighted to share our latest venture, in-house production for quicker turnaround, superior quality, and heightened versatility. Experience excellence.
Awesome stuff, Dave. Thanks, man.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50
Thursday
for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
At Papa John's, our butter chicken pizza is a Canadian
Connor Halley.
favorite, and we think we know why. We start with a velvety, tangy, and subtly sweet sauce. Then it's our better ingredients: fresh,
It is
never
game day on
frozen
Sports
original
4.
dough, juicy grilled chicken, and crunchy green peppers and onions. Sounds delicious, right? Well, wait till you try it. It's butter chicken made better. Order your large butter chicken pizza today for only $19.99. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Proudly locally owned and operated.
The basketball show turns 10, and we welcome a new generation of basketball talk. Hoop City with Paul Sir airs Saturday mornings from 10 till noon on Sports 1440. From grassroots to NBA to the Olympics, we've got you covered.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, We are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
And now Action Electrical's testing team is on defense duty. They're the guardians of safety and compliance, a critical part of any lineup.
Precisely. They perform rigorous safety and code compliance testing for commercial operations. Think of them as the referees, ensuring everything is up to standard before disaster strikes.
Their preventative plays are legendary, spotting faults early. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
I'm Grant Fedork from Leading Edge Physiotherapy, and people who suffer brain fog might think it's just going to be part of their life. But listen, I've seen a 38-year-old mom managing a concussion read her kid a bedtime story without losing the plot, all because of cognitive rehab that rewires the brain like a GPS reboot. Your brain isn't broken, it's buffering. One missed beat in focus, memory, or balance snowballs into frustration, falls, or forgotten keys. Stroke, concussion, long COVID, even aging can all lead to brain fog. Cognitive rehab works. Check us out at leadingedgephysio.com before your next "where'd I put my phone" moment.
Across rural Alberta, volunteers and community groups work hard to make life better for their neighbors, creating new playgrounds, better rinks, and gathering places that bring us together. Vision Credit Union is proud to lend these local heroes a helping hand. Apply today for a Helping Hand grant up to $10,000 to support your community's next big idea. Let's make great things happen together. Applications are open until January 31st, 2026. Learn more at whatsyourshare.ca.
Hey Jude.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. We treat pain and injuries head to toe and some other issues that might surprise you, like incontinence, vertigo, neuropathy, and cognitive issues. We invest in the technology, techniques, skills, and people that know how and what to fix. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
The Jason Gregor Show. The best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Well, Oiler fans, maybe it starts getting better tonight. Who knows when? Because honestly, I don't know. It might not get better this year. You never know. That's what's crazy about sports, man. You don't know. You think it's going to get better. Maybe it'll get better. Then it doesn't get better. So we will see what's going to happen on that. But the Oilers, if they want to make the playoffs at some point, it's got to start to get better. You got to get going in the right direction. Welcome back. It is the Jason Gregor Show. As always, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Get in the game. It's the Daily Grand on Thursdays, where you can win $1,000 a day for the next 20 years. $7.3 million. Oof, would that be fun? Get your tickets at PlayAlberta.ca. As we're going to go in the room now, brought to you by Action Electrical, where Action Electrical, 53 years, one of the most diversified electrical contractors in the province, and they are hiring. As they keep growing and expanding, they need more good people. Are you a good person? Second, third, fourth-year electrician? That's what they're looking for. Apply today, careers at actionelectrical.net. As we get to Terry Ryan from Shoresy, former NHLer, Newfoundland Hall of Famer. TR, how you doing? Do you have any answers as to how to fix the Edmonton Oilers?
Wow. Well, I have faith because this has happened the last couple of years. Answers, normally they'd be easier to pinpoint, but it's just so, there's just so many things that seem to be going amiss on each night. There's a lot of layers to it. So I wouldn't know where to begin exactly. And they turn it on and off at times. Like the third period last night, like it's sometimes like watching just magic, like watching artists at work, especially when McDavid started skating around on the power play there. Like it was just like, it seems inevitable sometimes they're going to score. And then other times, defensive lapses, obviously we know that. But yeah, just from all different kinds of places, and like 5-on-5, it just looks so sloppy. It's hard to imagine that most of these people were in the Stanley Cup final, not even a half a year ago.
Yeah, no, hey, it's a wild one for sure. You mentioned there's a lot of different, and maybe that's what makes it even harder to fix, because, you try to plug one hole here with your finger, then another one pops up, and now there's another one, because, it's different guys on different nights, and it's different things. Some nights I got no emotion, man. It's like they're playing non-contact beer league hockey, right? And I'm a firm believer this team is still a better team when they play with emotion, and TR, there's lots of nights where they're lacking in emotion.
Yeah, right. And so just that alone, is that because of the hangover of playing a couple of years so long? There are a lot of new faces on the team, a lot of younger players that are in there. I don't want to pinpoint anybody in particular, because everybody's losing and everybody looks worse. Each play looks worse when you're losing. Each giveaway, each problem is way magnified. But, man, there's just an opportunity out there if you want to be known and respected, and especially if you're young and you're ready to jump up, even if it's not your game, just go out there, and there's ways to get noticed. Now would be one of them, right? Especially on a good team that's in a lull. It's an opportunity for somebody. Maybe it's a vet to rediscover their game. Maybe it's a rookie to add a little bit of pep to their own. But, when it comes to the Oilers, they've been here before. But it's a whole lot of the same, although the difference for me, I really don't know the analytics about the past, but yeah, there's just seems to be so many holes, and they're mistakes that they're like exhibition mistakes, right? So are they squeezing the stick? I don't know. At times they turn it on, man, and it looks like a team that could easily end up the same place, in the Stanley Cup final, and other times looks like, like I said, exhibition. So that's the hard part. Now, maybe because of that, if there's a positive, maybe it's just like not being plugged in and being ready, which would be weird, but it would kind of explain the mess all over the table kind of thing.
Yeah, it is. It's been pretty ugly, and I know they've come back in the past, so they probably still believe they can, but that's a slippery slope too here. You gotta do the work to come back, and defensively they got to get better. I know we can say, hey, goaltender's got to make a save. I agree, but the truth of the matter is, Edmonton has paid their D-core and their forwards all the big money because they expect them to be good and insulate their goalies to just be okay, because that's really what they are, right? That's what they are. And so the challenge now is, when the skaters aren't doing their job, you're asking goalies to save the team, and they're not really capable of doing that.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it. What really are your expectations out of a goalie tandem that, given their salary even alone, if you just went by that, then, maybe I'm not saying anybody's meeting their expectations. But when you look at it like that, yeah, you've already signed up to having people, a lot of the other side of the team then would have to would have to play above themselves, or, it's not going in on a level that everybody's equal, and then that's every team, obviously, especially with a salary cap. But, a lot of the goals that are going in at the beginning of the year, we talked about Skinner and some crazy mistakes that, you just can't do that. These are like, almost, but, well, not really their fault. Maybe an elite would have had it, but, who knows? And maybe you've already signed up for that. When it comes to the Oilers and a team with so much opportunity for improvement because they're so good, I hate to always point at the goalies. There are times here that they should be stopping these pucks, but it's way, to me, deeper than that, and very solvable because they've already proved that they can do it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? They've proven they can do it, but that's the great thing about sports. The past really is irrelevant in the present. Other than maybe you can hang your hat on hoping they'll get back to that, but they got to work and get back to it, TR. It's just that simple. They got to play more aggressive. They got to play smarter. They got to play, I think, with more emotion, get in someone's face, for goodness sakes. Like, there's a lot of problems on this team. And then what about coaching? Where do you come out? Like I watch you. I don't think their defensive zone structure is that much different. They got the same defenseman. They lost Paul Coffey and Mark Stewart's come in. And now maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe the messaging of Coffey was, he kept guys on their toes a little bit more. I don't know. But I look at this team right now, and when you're this bad, everybody's responsible. The coaches can't get a free pass. And there's got to be something different that coaches can do here to get guys going. Like I'll use this as an example. Brett Kulak in the month of November in his first 9 games got outscored 12-0 5-on-5. Last night, his first 3 shifts, he was on the ice for a goal against. It was 3-1. He was on the ice 3 times. They got a goal every time. That's 15-0 now in 9 games in 1 period. As a coach, at some point, you got, hey, Brett, you can sit down here for a bit. Regroup. Because I watch him like Brett Kulak, I've seen him make more glaring mistakes in the last 3 weeks than I think I had in the last 3 years. He's clearly fighting it. He's lacking confidence. You have 7 defensemen. Like, at some point, maybe you can save him, but also save the team by just saying, okay, we got to give you a break here.
Yeah, and it's funny you brought him up. Yeah, I mean, usually you think certainly some level of poise, right, and experience. I didn't know that. That's a glaring stat. 15. Yeah. So, I mean, you got to think he knows the difference, and it's tough. You're looking at teams that they think about. You want a comparison? You look at Toronto right now, and like they got to overplay guys like Jake McCabe, right? They get so many injuries. They got to go out there, and here's a guy that's there's similarities. Shoots left. He's been around for a long time. And generally been relied on to be a good player, but all of a sudden when these mistakes start getting so glaring, then you feel the noise a little bit, and you can't give into that noise. But you can't give into the noise. It's not like you're a rookie. If I'm a rookie, I'm thinking, geez, maybe this league's too good for me. But people like McCabe or Kulak, both of them, right? They know that they can play in the league. They know that they're just playing really poorly. So sometimes, ask about the coaching. I think this might be just a motivation thing. Like often goalies, right, get in their own head. When you're playing, it's often the spotlight's not on you as much. It's easier to kind of deflect that stuff. But sometimes when it is, it's just like you're squeezing the stick and you're thinking about it way too much. So yes, of course, the coaches have to take some blame when you're in a rut. But when it comes to players like Kulak that are experienced, that Ekholm, that know the difference, that they're just, you just got to play your way out of it. And I guess the coaching becomes more motivational than anything.
Yeah, well, I think the coach has got to find something. That's your job as a coach, right, TR? You got to find a way to push different buttons, because whatever buttons they're pushing right now aren't working.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, exactly. You got to figure out how to push the buttons, and that's easier said than done. But some of those guys, they just know the buttons have already been pushed in the past. And I mean, one of the reasons, often in hockey, man, it's so long. We talk about football. We're right now mid-season. It's exciting. What do they have, 17 or 18 games, man? The playoffs are all done. The playoffs and the regular season and exhibition, all of that is less than just the Stanley Cup playoffs. So, it's so long, and you got to keep answering the same questions. And it seems like the runway's so long that you got time to work it out. But every year at the end, man, it's such a dogfight for those last few points that, you want to work it out. I don't know that the time is there, right? And there's so much. I don't know if it's with the amount of teams or the salary cap, but it seems like that parity might be the word, but a lot of teams aren't playing great, and a lot of teams aren't really breaking away from the pack. Now's the time, man. Get your points. Just as a team, just get out there and get it done, and try to focus, because the runway's not as long as you think it is.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. Looking at a few other teams, TR, your Canadians who drafted you. You know what? They had a really good start. They're an entertaining team, but they kind of are who I thought they'd be. Like, they're entertaining. They'll give up a lot. They'll score a lot. What do you make of the Habs and the direction they've gone here in the last few weeks?
Well, shout out to the alumni, Patrice Brisebois and the Alumni Association. My daughter and I and a bunch of friends just went to the game last Saturday. Had an awesome time. And then, of course, saw Paul McCartney on Monday. That's for another time. Yeah, it was exactly the energy in the building. And that particular night, they lost 3-2. But like the energy was up and down, and it was a metaphor for their team. Like they'd opened up. I think it was Struble fought Zadorov. There was a couple of other skirmishes. They had some glaring chances against that, probably wouldn't happen in junior. And then same thing, took some chances and offensively just had a couple of like blatant 3-on-1s. Like it was run and gun. The energy was real high. And I think what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe they needed a bit of a market reset. They weren't going to be, on that winning percentage all year that they started on. I think they got great potential. They might even make the playoffs. But their inexperience, I think, often is obvious. But there are a bunch of kids that often don't care. So and sometimes I'm not saying they don't care about playing. It's just it's water off a duck's back. Right? Like, let's go. When's the next shift? Whereas you get a little bit older, you got other responsibilities and things. And I think these guys are just, they're a young group of players that knows that they still haven't even come close to hitting their climax here. But on the way could be a little bit of fun. And within that structure come some mistakes. So, it's obvious when you watch them, but I think they're going to be dangerous. And you can tell that as well.
Yeah, well, no, they definitely will be. One last one. When you look at the orders, and they're in the muck right now, there's no question about it. They really haven't gotten out of it. They haven't had a stretch where they've been consistent for, I'm not even sure, 2 games, to be completely honest. It's up to 22 games. I know they've had a lot of road games. They're on the tail end of a 7-game road trip. They're Tampa tonight, where they never win. They've won 1 in their last 9 visits. Then they go to Florida, which, maybe so I want to get to that Florida game, TR. Let's say you lose in Tampa tonight, which, they seem to do all the time. But win or lose tonight, that Florida game, it's a regular season game. It's in the building where you've lost the Stanley Cup the last 2 years. Now, some guys on the team weren't there, but the majority of them were. How do you think they approach that game? I know it's the last game of a 7-game, or maybe you're tired, whatever, but should that be the most emotionally charged game of the season for the Oilers, considering the situation and where it's at and who they're playing?
I don't know if I can answer that, given everything going on in the dynamic within that team and the dressing room. But would it? Yeah, for me, 100% it would. Just put yourself in the position of being a player, and now put yourself in being a player on that team, and try to, for a second, which is hard to do, put yourself right there where Connor McDavid was that big speech last year, in the playoffs, and after, when the camera came in, and how devastated they all looked. That no one was that wasn't for the camera. No one was putting that on. That's a long road, man, and that devastation for me is matched the other way around. Give me. If I was in that room at that time, I'd be thinking, when's the next possible time? When can we play these guys again? And they were thinking that. If anybody that's half competitive, man, let alone Stanley Cup playoff contenders, and you're in there and you just went through that battle and they took a ring off your finger and a legacy away from you, I would be chomping at the bit to get this game started. I would want it started immediately, and I'd be going like a jackhammer, man, and I'm sure a lot of them will be.
TR, good to talk to you again, buddy. Have yourself a good one. We'll chat with you on Tuesday.
You too. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Connor. Thank you, Edmonton, and chat again soon.
Let's go. That's TR in the room, brought to you by Action Electrical. Quick break. When we come back, we'll go to Tampa Bay. No Hedman, no McDonough. Maybe no problem for Tampa. They've had a lot of success against the Oilers. We'll find out why next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Wow. Get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love Better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
Mr. Rooter watches the big game. Go deep! What you watching, Mr. Rooter? The Plumbing Olympics. Frankie Drain Dragon Sanchez is attempting to break the world record in the 100-meter snake. Watch! Wow! Did you see that? He snaked out a 50-pound clog. And in the middle of that wad, a gold medal. What theater?
Yeah, that's very cool, Mr. Rooter.
For a plumber who's good as gold, call Mr. Rooter.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
You matter. Your mental health matters, and you're braver than you think. Not Alone is an organization focused on creating a space of acceptance and support through tough, meaningful conversation. My name is Tyler Smith, and you are never alone. NotAloneCo.com. It's okay to not be okay.
When you have lifting and material handling needs, Northwest Crane delivers. Western Canada's Sani dealer, backed by the industry's toughest one. 3 years, 3,000 hours, no compromises. They service all crane makes and models with skilled technicians and deep industry expertise. Alberta owned with locations in Leduc and Grand Prairie and fully equipped service trucks. Northwest Crane keeps your operation lifting. For more information on sales or service, visit northwestcrane.com or call today.
At Papa John's, our butter chicken pizza is a Canadian favorite, and we think we know why. We start with a velvety, tangy, and subtly sweet sauce. Then it's our better ingredients: fresh, never frozen original dough, juicy grilled chicken, and crunchy green peppers and onions. Sounds delicious, right? Well, wait till you try it. It's butter chicken made better. Order your large butter chicken pizza today for only $19.99. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Proudly locally owned and operated.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Snow, colder weather, shorter days. November is officially here. But it doesn't all have to be bad news. If you're thinking about a new or used vehicle, now is the time. Massive savings, 0% financing, and don't forget tires at cost. Yes, that's right. We sell winter tires at cost. There's lots to celebrate in November. And as always, we'd like to thank all of those who have fought and served for our country. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also, a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.30, welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you're having a lovely Thursday. I know Oilers fans, tough one right now because they are in it as the Oilers struggles continue. Losing in Washington last night, 7-4, give up 2 empty net goals to get the touchdown. For Washington, no rest for the weary. Everybody always says, well, you know, when you lose, you want to play right away. So We'll see if that's true or not tonight. The Oilers going to Tampa Bay, where that's probably maybe the worst one place they don't want to go. They never win in Tampa. They've won once in Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl's career in Tampa Bay. One time. Came in November of 2022. So over 3 years ago, they won 3-2. Jack Campbell stopped 35 of 37. There'll be no Jack Campbell tonight. It'll be Calvin Pickard, 11-7 again, as the Oilers don't have anybody else on the roster. They got Philp and Lazar and Nugent Hopkins and Kapanen all injured. And they'll go up against Tampa. No Hedman, no McDonough. Maybe that's the one thing they can hold their hat on. But Tampa Bay, in Tampa, Kucherov, little fun fact, Kucherov's highest goals per game against any team in the NHL, the Edmonton Oilers. He has 13 goals in 18 games against the Oilers. Loves playing him. So watch out for the one they call Cooch. Tonight, as we go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's. Stop in at McD's right now. Did you know Tuesday and Thursdays and Sundays, the game day meals where you can get McChicken, filet of fish, Big Mac for only $4.49 through the McDonald's app. Check it out today. As we go out to Tampa Bay, and the Lightning probably, well, they're not as bad as the Oilers, but they're probably not where they want to be, as well as we are joined by Deandra Liu from the Hockey News. Deandra, welcome back to the show. How you doing?
Hey, Jason. Thank you for having me back on.
Hey, anytime. I appreciate you coming on. I guess give us the update on Hedman. I know they moved him to IR today so they could activate Nick Paul off of LTIR. But what's the prognosis on Hedman? How long is he going to be out?
Yeah, it's you talk about kind of where the Lightning would like to be and where they're at right now. I think injuries play a huge role in that. Victor Hedman, I think, well, John Cooper said today he could be out for a couple more weeks, and it's not the same thing that he dealt with in the preseason, because he was out for the entirety of the preseason. We were all kind of wondering if it was the same injury, but this is something new. So it's more of they want to keep him out for the longevity of it. Obviously, he's he's a veteran in the league now at this point, so player management is pretty important. And so he's got a couple more weeks to go. He's been out. This will be his 5th game that he's been out.
And obviously, he's a huge loss. McDonough's out tonight. So who's kind of stepped up in the absence of those two?
Yeah, it's been interesting because you think about, like, it's hard to imagine the Lightning without Ryan McDonough and Victor Hedman, like anchor the blue line for so many years. And it's been interesting to see what the Lightning have really had to rely on some of those Syracuse crunch guys to come in, and they've completely held their own. So Destu, which I'm sure it's a name that's been kind of thrown around recently, but he was an undrafted guy that the Lightning found, and he's played really well. And then you look at like JJ Moser as a guy who has taken it up 3 notches this season. And so guys like that have had to step up. Eric Chernak is another one that's been out. And he was at morning skate. We'll see if he plays tonight. But he's been battling some things as well. So you've got like JJ Moser, Max Crozier was in, and now he's out again too. So it's kind of this rotating door of injuries. And then you've had the young guys from Syracuse coming in, and having to fill in for some pretty big, key players.
Yeah. Looking at Braden Point. When you look at his point, you're like, what is going on with Braden Point? It's kind of odd. Now, he does have points in consecutive games and assists in each of the last 2, but he's only got 3 goals in 18 games. He's only got 11 points. He's a minus player. Definitely not point-like numbers. What's going on with his year?
Yeah, it's been interesting, and it's hard to put together because, I mean, we know, like, Braden Point, this is not what we're used to seeing with him. He's really not generating chances, and I think the assists, obviously, that's a good sign. I feel like with Braden Point, just kind of him as a player, like, he scores in bunches. Usually if he'll score 1 or 2, he'll score 5 consecutive games. So I think we're all kind of waiting for that to happen. I will say at morning skate, Coop actually flipped, put Cirelli on the top line with Kucherov and moved Point back with Gensel and what will likely be Nick Paul on the second line. And I thought that was really good because, Jake Gensel has had a really solid season so far. And, Nick Paul's going to come in and be ready to go. It's his first game of the season. So I think maybe that, I'm sure Coop is hoping like maybe that will, generate some confidence for Point and obviously the power play has been struggling too. And you got to think, he scores a lot of goals on the power play. Just overall as a group, the power play has been kind of a work in progress. So, they did score 2 on Tuesday night against New Jersey. So maybe it is turning a corner, but Braden Point's such a big piece of that power play. And, if it's not working, that will take a significant amount of goals out for him.
You mentioned Paul's first game of the year, so he'll be amped right up, and you can play on adrenaline usually, guys, for a while. Maybe games 3 and 4 is when the speed of the game starts to catch up with players. That's kind of normal.
Yeah.
The Cirelli, Hagel, Kucherov trio. How would you evaluate their play as a group and then maybe as individuals?
Interesting. It's going to be interesting to see those three together. I will say Cirelli and Hagel you guys saw them in Four Nations and we see them on a nightly basis, but together they are a pretty dynamic duo and they definitely feed off of each other, but they have a really strong two-way game, both of them. And they dominate the PK and that is their bread and butter. That's how they make their money. And so then you add Kucherov, who's obviously an incredible player in general, but that two-way speed game that Hagel and Cirelli have, they bring that to the top line, and Hagel's been on the top line pretty much all season, on and off. So I'm interested to see what happens. Like you said, you talk about Braden Point. That's really what I'm going to be paying attention to tonight is him being on that second line with Jake Gensel. And like you said, Nick Paul is going to be running off adrenaline. It was his wrist that he had surgery on. So he has been practicing and he's been able to skate and everything like that. So I am interested to see what that does for Braden Point's game tonight.
Hagel was off to a little bit of a slow start. Has his game come around the last few weeks?
Yeah, interesting too. Yeah, he did get off to a slow start, but again, similar to Point, like we knew once he scored one, and he always plays really well against Vegas. So I was on the radio before that game. I was like, I feel like this is the game that Hagel turns it around, and he did. And he's been solid ever since. But for him, it was like he needed that one goal to really kind of boost his confidence and get him going. And I think that's the same with Braden Point, honestly. Confidence is such a big thing. And I think once he gets a couple, he'll be ready to go.
Deandra Lou joins us. How's Vasilevsky played this season for Tampa?
He has been, I think with every game, he's gotten better. He did have, he had a rough game about a week or so ago, but I watched him in against New Jersey on Tuesday, and he was like prime Andre Vasilevsky. He dealt with an injury, obviously, in the preseason. And that's something like anytime anything happens to Vasi, that is, because if Vasi is great, then the Lightning have a chance always, And one thing that's been different this year definitely is that, Coop has kind of been managing his workload more than we've seen in years past. And Jonas Johansson has played really well. And that kind of gives him that flexibility to maybe Vasi still wants to play all 82 games. He told me that the other day, but he's not allowed to anymore. So Johansson has been able to kind of carry some of the weight, and Vasi's getting some rest in, and they've been able to manage his workload, which I think down the stretch, that's really going to help out. But he's been great. He's been like regular Andre Vasilevsky.
And John Cooper wasn't on the bench last game. Was that just was that health reasons, or what was the reason for that?
It was like a personal reasons. But he's back actually. Yeah, he was out Monday at practice. Which, I actually looked it up because I was thinking, I don't even know the last time that Coop ever missed a game. And that was only his second game that he's missed in 979 games. And the first one was because he had COVID. So, not normal to see him out of practice or especially out of a game. But yeah, it was just some personal reasons. And he is back now. So he was at morning skate this morning, and he'll be behind the bench tonight.
Going back to the defense, what can you tell me about Charles-Edouard Dastus? Is that how I say his name, Dastus?
Yeah. He is, he went undrafted, and I feel like that's something that like the Lightning have been so good at over the years is finding guys that
Yeah.
maybe nobody is really paying attention to. Like they go over to Europe and they find these players, and he's one of them. I think he got Defenseman of the Year in Finland. I think actually in 2 leagues he got Defenseman of the Year, but they had to kind of lean on him, and Dominic James is another one, but they had to kind of lean on him this season, and they've been circulating these guys in from Syracuse and giving them a shot, to see what sticks. And he's stayed up the entire time. So he kind of just blended in, and you could tell, some of the guys that come over from the European leagues, and you can tell that they're pros, right? Like they're not just coming out of college or the AHL, like they're pros. And he's one of those guys. He just fit in really well. And, it's helpful for them. The depth that the Lightning have this year is come in handy for sure.
Yeah, and he's a unique because he's a Canadian. He's from Quebec. He played in the Quebec Major Junior League and then played in the AHL for a bit. Then he went over to Europe for 3 seasons in Finland and in Sweden, and then kind of came back. So it's not like some Europeans, if they come here, it takes them a while to adjust to the smaller ice surface, different game. He grew up here, so it's not an adjustment for him. He just comes back in, and he's 20. I was looking it up. He's 27 years of age, and you're right. Tampa has done a pretty good job of just finding guys, and they bring him in. And I think he played like 4 games in the American League, and that's it. And they're like, okay, you come up here. Now, obviously, injuries, I think, are playing a part in it, right? If McDonough and Hedman are in the lineup, I don't know if he's in the lineup or not. But for a team that at the start of the year, people worried about their defense depth, he's kind of emerged to say, hey, this guy can give us a solid 15 minutes a night.
Yeah, and I will say, and he talked about like the transition too. It was pretty seamless for him. But I will say something that has also come in handy is he has played on both sides. Like he can play on the left side, he can play on the right side. And that's really helpful because, like you said, they've had a lot of injuries. And I remember asking him, they kind of fluctuated and put him on both sides. And I asked him, are you more comfortable playing on the left or the right? And he's like, honestly, I can go on either side. I think he played on like the right and the AHL, and he played on the left in Sweden and Finland. So I think that has been really helpful too. And they've definitely utilized that. There have been so many injuries that we've had guys, missing all over the place that they've been able to plug him in. So that's kind of what they're looking for. And I mean, he made an impression in training camp, I will say, and like he's been able to hold his own. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens when McDonough and Hedman and Max Crozier and Chernak come back. They have a lot of depth right now. I'm interested to see what happens down the line.
Deandra, great stuff. We appreciate it as always. Enjoy the game tonight.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
You betcha. There's Deandra Lou joining us from Tampa Bay. The Oilers go in there. They've won once in their last, basically 9 years. Ever since because they played there 9 times in the 10 seasons of McDavid and Draisaitl since they've been here since 2015-16, and they've won once. That happened in 2022, November, 3 years ago. It was November 7th, to be exact. Jack Campbell with a pretty good performance that night, stopping 35 of 37. And we'll see what happens tonight. It's Calvin Pickard. Hey, I hope he stops 35 of 37. But I think if the Oilers give up 37 shots tonight, their odds of winning are going to be pretty low. So, Tampa Bay, they get Paul back. They don't have Cernak. They don't have McDonough. They don't have Hedman. It's 2 of their top 4 defensemen. And yes, you have other guys stepping up, but they're not as good as Hedman and McDonough. You got to find a way to generate some offense. Then the problem is you got to beat Vasilevsky. So that's a challenge when you face Tampa, and we'll see if the Oilers can do it. We'll return. We'll get to 5 questions next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions, take 1 for Gene Principe. Are you ready, Gene?
Ready? I'm not just here to make a thermo a couple of bucks. I'd never just microphone it in.
Take 1.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Nice.
Boom! I'm a musical genius.
Legacy's going to love this for furnace season.
What's not to love with no interest and no Principe payments for 1 year?
Are you always like this?
Yep. Unlike a furnace, I have no filter.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need.
Mr. Dirk, family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
More Edmonton families than ever are struggling as food prices skyrocket. The Holiday Hamper Foundation provides festive meals for 2,000 homes in need. Your donation ensures a turkey is on the table for every family. Donate today at holidayhamper.ca.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
I'm getting McDonald's. You want anything?
Oh, yeah. I'll get I'm obviously going to get the McVeggie, medium fries and a medium fountain drink for $9.99. It's my favorite meal, and it's new. Plus, if I get that, maybe he'll want it too. And then he'll always thank me for introducing him to the McVeggie. I'll be a hero.
So, McVeggie fries and drink?
How'd you know?
You were thinking out loud again. Get yourself a McVeggie meal for just $9.99 plus tax for a limited time only at participating McDonald's restaurants.
They're not just a grocery store. They're a butcher, a baker, a cafe, deli, rotisserie pizza, and restaurant, all under one roof. Loca Quality Market does food differently with 2 locations to serve you. Edmonton and Sherwood Park. Visit loca.ca.
Don't look now, but I think we're being followed.
Oh, that's just my Fountain Tire sidecar.
Well, they're driving pretty close.
Because they're attached.
Save up to 15% on select tires until December 13th.
Cool.
Plus, get up to $125 off a set of 4 Goodyear tires.
Anything else?
Get $50 off a $150 service when you buy those tires.
Well, that's handy.
Yep.
And weird.
Well, I love my Fountain Tire sidecar.
Book your appointment online today. Restrictions apply. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Hey, you know winter is really freaking cold, right? So play it smart. Don't get caught freezing in your car with your pants down and no power. At Big Toy Shop right now, lead-acid batteries are just $129. $129 is a great price for a good start. Big Toy Shop. Power up and save some bucks at Big Toy Shop, 8315 Argyle Road, 780-298-2797.
When your driveway's covered in snow, Toro and the Lawnmower Hospital have you covered. Toro's gas or battery-powered single-stage power-clear snowblowers make it easy to clear right down to the concrete with incredible Toro-powered Propel technology. Face the next snow day without fear, thanks to Toro and the Lawnmower Hospital. Visit lawnmowerhospital.com.
The Lawnmower Hospital.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Culligan for all your residential water needs. Your local water treatment company. More than just big bottles. Culligan.com.
The Jason Gregor Show. The best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$350. We'll see if the orders can rock the Casbah in Tampa Bay tonight. Time now for 5 questions brought to you by The Brick. Tomorrow, 1 day only. They're releasing Black Friday prices early. 65% off sofas. Buy the matching Love Cedar chair. You also get 50% off mattresses and up to $1,000 off select appliances when you buy 2 or more. And save the GST at The Brick and thebrick.com. 1 day tomorrow.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, Jason. Question number 1. Let's get the official pick for tonight's game, Oilers Lightning, and you can mix in a bold prediction as well.
Well, I don't see the Oilers winning. They never win in Tampa Bay, and I know maybe at some point the switch will flip. I just don't think it's going to be tonight. So I will take Tampa Bay 5-3, and bold prediction: Tomasic scores in back-to-back games.
All right. I'm going to say, I didn't want to say it, but I'm going to go for it. They find a way to win 5-3, but the win, and Zach Hyman, 2 goals, 1 on the power play. Question number 2 for you. The Lightning, bit of a slow start to this regular season, but regaining their form. 7-3 in their last 10, back into a wild card spot in the ultra competitive Eastern race. Where do you think they'll finish in the division this season?
In the division, good question. I think Tam's going to win their division.
Not exciting, but I'm with you. Playing much better hockey now. Can they track down the teams ahead of them? Montreal, Boston, Detroit? I think so. And like the teams that were there last year, I just feel like the Leafs and the Panthers might struggle. So I'm with you. I actually had them going all the way in the division as well. Question number 3 for you. Is there a more surprising team in the association right now than the Toronto Raptors, who've won 5 in a row and 9-1 in their last 10?
Ooh, wow. Let's be honest. I don't think anybody out there had the Raptors sitting in second place in the Eastern Conference after 15 games. They're 9-1 in their last. Like, it is hard to go 9-1 in a 10-game stretch, man. They are 9-1. They're playing very well. They got lots of different guys contributing, which is key. So, is there a more surprise? Well, the Pistons are 13-2, but a lot of people thought the Pistons would be good. So, I will say, I knew the Pacers were going to take a step back, but they're 2-13. So that to me is more surprising. As good as the Raptors have been, the Pacers are 2-13. Like, I know Halliburton's a big player, but come on. Like, you went to the final and now you're 2-13. Come on. No, that's surprising to me.
Yeah, that is a good one for a different reason. I'm going to say no. Like, I had no thought that the Toronto Raptors would do this, especially 10-5. You were 9-1. That means you're at 1-4 in the first games. Like, I thought, okay, here we go again. And the Toronto Raptors now just playing great ball. So no, for me, they are the most surprising team in the association so far. PlayAlberta.ca has the Bills as 5.5-point favorites tonight over the Texans. The over-under at 44.5 points. What would be your pick here? And is there any other prop bets you like?
Well, I'm taking the Bills for sure. We took them at PlayAlberta.ca, so I will take the Bills even with the points. Yeah, I can't get a sense of the over-under, so I would avoid it. And my prop bet, I'm going to take Josh Allen rushing touchdown.
I will agree with you. Bills cover. I'm going to take the under, which I hate to do, but it feels like there's a trend there. And my wild
do unders happen a lot on Thursdays?
I think it did last week.
Okay.
Under and they covered. I don't know. Whatever I said actually went 2 for 2, which is not something I would advise following all the time. But my wild bet, Gabe Davis elevated from the practice roster, touchdown. And Josh Allen finds that familiarity with him. Keon Coleman going to be a healthy scratch once again. So Gabe Davis, anytime touchdown. Final question for you today. Yesterday was Monopoly Day. So when you're playing Monopoly, what's your go-to character? And then to follow that up, what is your favorite board game of all time?
My favorite board game of all time. I look at, God, I love board games, man. Well, it's different because when I was a kid, it's a totally different game. Now I wouldn't love it, but when I was a kid, Hungry Hippos. Oh my God, I love that game. I played it all the time. But now as an adult, play Sequence a lot. Quite like Sequence. It's a card game. That's kind of a board game, I guess. And I guess no, that's probably a card game. So board game, I will go. You know what? Right now I'm in a real Connect 4 battle with my son. We played quite regularly, so I'll say Connect 4.
And do you have a favorite character amongst the classic Monopoly? Like for me, I'm the car all the time.
You're the car all the time?
Gotta be the car. There's the dog, the
car. The car's good. Yeah. I like being the horse.
You got to be someone that moves, actually. Like, I think there's an iron. Well, what's the point? Yeah. So for me to answer, always going to be the car if I have my first choice. And I love the game Trivial Pursuit, actually. We always had that growing up. Always like that one. So I'd probably have that up there. And then Snakes and Ladders, Shoots and Ladders, whatever you want to call it. I play that game with my niece occasionally. She cheats, but it's always a good time still.
She cheats? How?
Well, she tends to avoid she has a good way of hitting the ladders. Let's just say that. Avoid the snakes or the shoots. So she climbs up pretty quickly in this one.
I love snakes. Well, now have you ever played Snakes and Ladders where you reverse it?
Never. No.
Oh, it's fun, man. Where you go up the snakes and down the ladders. Just adds to it. It's fun.
I could get into it. But,
totally you can. Changes the dynamic a little bit. We like
a fun game.
Yeah. So it's always different ways to play. Snakes and Ladders is a classic game. Played on the plane a lot when my son was little to pass the time. It's good times. I love board games though, man. Like Cards Against Humanity. It's unreal. I guess that's still a card game, but God, it's so fun. So fun. Lots of laughs, buddy. Lots of laughs. Coming up, we'll dig in more to the orders in Tampa Bay. Also some other NHL talk. But first, we get to the con man and a sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. They got winter tires at cost. Cost, yes. Don't believe me? Check them out for yourself. NorthgateGM.com.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
It is game day. Oilers taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning down in Florida. This one gets going at 5:30. Our pregame coverage with Andrew Walker, Jason Gregor, and Leonard Ferraro starting at 4:30 here on Sports 1440. Elsewhere around the NHL, you got the Blues and Flyers, Devils taking on the Panthers. Maple Leafs host the Jackets, Caps in Montreal. Blackhawks, Kraken, Rangers taking on the Avalanche. Canucks host the Stars and the Sens in Anaheim. Week 12, the NFL kicks off tonight with the Bills taking on the Houston Texans. Bills wide out Keon Coleman. Looks like he'll be benched for the second straight week. In the association, just 4 games on the schedule. Magic host the Clippers, Kings in Memphis, Bucks taking on the 76ers and the Hawks up against the Spurs. And the Canadian Hockey League announcing today that the OHL's Guelph Storm have been selected to host the 2027 Memorial Cup. This is the first time they've hosted the annual event since 2002. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Justin Bourne of Sportsnet, and we'll get to pregame coverage with Andrew Walker. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440. Stingray Radio Station. CKJR. Broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
You know your neighbor, right? The one who watches your house when you're away, who keeps their yard looking nice, who says hello every day. That's us. GS Construction. Now, we probably don't live right beside you, but we do live in your community. And when it comes to water and wastewater infrastructure, moving along smoothly, we're the ones doing that work. GS Construction has been doing it since 1974, over 50 years. So you could say we are your neighbors who wear hard hats and work boots. To find out what your neighbors do, visit gsconstruction.ca.
Sure, your couch is comfortable, but watching the game is always better and on the rocks. With crystal clear TVs, you won't miss a single play, and the specials are a major league win. Pre-game warm-up starts with specials 30 minutes before the puck drops. Get 69-cent wings and $5.75 Molson Canadian and Coors Light drafts, and play score and win every game for your chance to win big. Be part of the action this hockey season. See the menu online at ontherocks.yeg.com.
They are late, tasting just so right. You can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle noodle.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto be the
Oiler fans, maybe.
calculator. No pressure. No
Maybe it starts getting better tonight. Who knows when?
on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No
Maybe it
credit?
starts.
We got you. Text check to 780-777-7777.
Sports 1440.
To 780 all 7. Find out what you qualify
Legacy
for and
Heating and
start
Cooling.
shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
We'll see if the
Junior
orders can.
Prospects Hockey League sports season is now underway. The JPHL offers elite athletic and academic opportunities for players in the 14U, 15U, 17U, and 18U divisions. All games are broadcast live on Silent Ice TV, featuring a showcase-style schedule and competitive matchups across Western Canada. Players work with experienced coaches, trainers, and elite hockey personnel. Learn more about Western Canada's fastest-growing elite hockey development stream at juniorprospectshockeyleague.com.
River Cree is the place for all your favorite sports. River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring UFC action and boxing live on the big screens at Tap 25, the MVP of sports bars, and in the Center Bar. Plus, catch this fall's biggest games. Every goal, every tackle, every home run. River Cree is also home to the Twin Rinks, where rec hockey and community teams come to play. Public skating available. Details at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
He's heading into the driveway. Temperature's dropping fast, folks. He opens the hood and, oh no, the battery's on thin ice.
Yeah, that's a tough break, Tim. I mean, you can't expect to compete and win with weak parts in your game like that.
But wait, he's made a clutch move. He's gone to Napa Auto Parts for the win. They've got batteries, winter-grade oils, antifreeze, and wiper blades built for cold Alberta conditions.
That's a championship play, Tim.
With over 85 Alberta locations, visit your local Napa store today or shop online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Northwest Crane, available for all your lifting and equipment needs, specializing in selling and servicing cranes. Get lifting at northwestcrane.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 4 o'clock. Welcome back. How are you, Jason Gregor? Connor Halley. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Also at Oilers Nation, where, of course, the Oilers tonight on the road taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning. We'll take your text. We got a lot of them. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440 in our email inbox. The Gregor Show is always presented by PlayAlberta.ca. And we have our new, if you go to PlayAlberta.ca and then you click on sports, you will see on the left side the Jason Gregor Show. We got special odds boosts, and we'll have a special bet every day for you to see. We'll track it, see how we're doing. We started off a little fun with the parlay. We're taking the Bills and the points, and Tampa and the Oilers and the over. The Oilers are leaking some goals. Tampa Bay doesn't have Hedman and McDonough. We might see 7 goals at least. Heck, Washington scored 7 last night, so you never know. Calvin Pickard's numbers have not been great. But who knows? Maybe he can channel in Jack Campbell 2022, because that's the only win the Oilers have had on the road in Tampa Bay in the McDavid-Draisaitl era. They are 1-8 in the 8 losses. They've been outscored 36-17. Yowza. So we'll see what happens tonight in Tampa Bay. As we're going to get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by Silent Rides Charter Company, one of Alberta's premier bus charter companies, safely taking your team, your group to your next destination. Ride in style at silentrides.ca. And we are joined now, Sportsnet NHL analyst Justin Bourne joins us. Justin, welcome to the show, my man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me, pal.
Hey, I appreciate it. Man, Edmonton and Toronto, it's like mirror images of one another. What have you seen? What has been the biggest struggle of the Maple Leafs so far?
Oh, boy. It's a long list. I would say the biggest struggle is that they're not getting elite goaltending to paper over their usual, not getting outplayed, which is, excuse me, something that started happening under Craig Berube last year. But the goaltending hit a lot of their deficiencies. This year, they get below average goaltending. Combine that with not controlling the play, and all of a sudden things look really bad. So, like I said, it's not a short list of issues right now, but the biggest one is just every mistake they make seems to end up in the back of their net.
So, Stolarz isn't close to coming back, right? So that's kind of the challenge. And even when he was, like, he didn't play very well, and it was maybe unrealistic to think he was going to play as well as he has. And the other thing, like, he's only ever played 30 games once in his career. He's 31 years of age, right? Like, it was a little bit of a risk going in with two goalies who both had injury history.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a risk. I just think when you head into it, you go, all right, we had two guys that gave us above average league goaltending last year. If every other night you're getting above average goaltending, you can kind of get by when the other night is just okay. And, it's like they lost Joseph Woll, and then Stolarz took a significant step back in his play. So you didn't have any nights where you're getting even average goaltending. Now, I know there's some familiarity with that in Edmonton at times, and it hurts because I feel like good teams are accustomed to getting away with not playing perfectly all the time, and it's felt like the Leafs have had to be perfect, and boy, they have not been perfect.
No, not at all. Now, the Edmonton Oilers, here's the chicken and the egg theory. Yeah. If they get good goaltending, will it make their team defense look better? They need to get better team defense to get their goalies looking better. Which one do you subscribe to?
It's a little bit of both. It's funny because, like, after all this time with Stu Skinner with the Oilers and all the words and said and digital links spilled and all that kind of stuff, it's weird, tough to come to his defense anymore. But like last game, I agree with the coach. I didn't think that he had much of an opportunity to be great. And I thought there was traffic in front of him. I thought he faced a ton of grade A chances. Not trying to take him off the hook, but yeah, like I think if the defense plays better, yeah, he definitely has a chance to look like a better goaltender. Now, granted, you'd love for him to make you one extra save here or there. So again, not taking him off the hook, but I do think it starts with defending better, puts them in a lot better spot.
Well, I thought their defending was terrible in the first period, but I hated that fifth goal. Like, the Oilers had battled back. You got a guy, you got to read the play. A guy's coming down the right side on his backhand. Two things happen. A, I didn't like the defenseman over going to a guy on his backhand so much on a 2-on-1. But then B, Skinner leaned to his left, and then he had farther to go across. He's not the most mobile goalie to begin with. And then he couldn't get across on what was not a bang-bang 2-on-1. Right? Like, it wasn't a bang-bang 2-on-1. It was kind of a slow development. You saw it happening. And I at some point, your goalie has to make one save, and I didn't like that goal at all.
You know what? That's actually a great example of a play where an elite goalie gives you the save, but it doesn't even look like a tough play. Like, it doesn't look like it was like, oh, we got away with one. It's like, oh, well, it wasn't that dangerous a rush, really. I totally agree. I thought that one was, one of those ones where it looks harder than it needs to.
Yeah. And that's been a problem. So here's, like, the Oilers, now they got Ingram in the minors, and he's got to play probably a few more games, and then maybe he comes up in place of Calvin Pickard. I could see it. But I'm not sure that'll be the solution. Ingram's talked openly. We all know what's happened to him coming off some mental health challenges. So, man, I'd love to see him come back and be a great success story. Awesome. But what options do the Maple Leafs have? Like, obviously they want to play better, but they're not even getting good goaltending. Can their goaltending play better? What's your thoughts on Wall? Because they're not going to have Stolarz for a while.
Yeah. It's a similar thing where you're just kind of like, I've tried to use the example on our show where, like, let's say you buy a new pair of shoes and you really like them. The best thing you can do for those shoes is buy another new pair of shoes so you're not wearing them every single day and they last longer and look fresher. It's the same thing where it's like they don't have Stolarz and now they're going to throw Joseph Woll in 6 straight starts or something because they don't have any back-to-backs, and a guy coming off, we don't know exactly what. We're not allowed to say, but we don't think it's a physical injury. I don't know that it's great to immediately say to this guy, hey, we need you so bad. We can't afford for anyone else to play. You're the savior. It just feels like a lot to keep on him right away. So Yeah, I mean, I would say there's people nervous about the goaltending, and the question you asked about the chicken and the egg is kind of the same thing too. But I will say this: one of the chicken and the egg things is almost goes back to a theory that Kyle Dubas had back here here in Toronto back in the day, which was that if you're on offense a lot more, you don't have to defend as much. So he wasn't as worried about the defending. The Leafs have no puck movers on the back end. The Oilers can go play in the other end of the rink. The Leafs don't have that luxury right now. It's a bunch of shot blockers. So the goaltenders are going to see a lot of shot attempts, whether they get through or not.
Okay. So that's a little bit then on roster construction for sure in Toronto. Like obviously they miss Mitch Marner, but their offense isn't down like drastically. But now they've gotten Matthew. Like they've also got a string of injuries, right? Like that's probably what's taken it from bad to worse here for them. Is not only where they weren't playing well, they got like 6 regulars out of the lineup.
Well, I think if you look around the league, that's kind of happening, isn't it? Like, the Florida Panthers obviously have gone through it as much as anyone, but the Tampa Bay Lightning have been without a lot of their guys too. And, Vancouver Canucks have been heavily injured. Just feels like there's a lot of injuries this year. So I'm not sure if the Olympic schedule being a little condensed is it all to blame, or if we're just looking for something to make sense of why there's been so many injuries. But yeah, league-wide, it's been a thing. The Leafs have certainly dealt with it as much as anyone. Without Matthews and 3 of their top 4 centers, they got 2 of their off-season acquisitions, Joshua and Michelli, flanked by Jacob Quillen tonight. So make sure to, tune your TV in tonight to not miss that experiment. It's a lot of guess and test and trying to find lines that work. I know the Oilers go through it a little bit too, but for the Leafs right now, they just can't find anything that seems to work beyond, Willie Nylander and John Tavares and even Matthews has struggled at times. So it's a battle here right now.
Oh yeah. Justin Bourne joined us. Justin, we're seeing the emergence of some of the young guys in the NHL. Celebrini, Bedard. The Anaheim Ducks as a team are playing very well. Leo Carlson, Cutter Gauthier, but more so Leo Carlson. What do you make of the young guys, and which one impresses you the most?
I love that you mentioned the Ducks as guys, because you hear so much about Celebrini and Bedard, who are obviously doing really well. But Leo Carlson is putting up fantastic numbers on the defensive side of the puck to go with the offense this year. I saw an article today theorizing, like, is this new Barkov? Tough to tell this early in a career to make a claim like that, but this is how it starts out for guys that have careers that look that good. So Carlson's been awesome. And then I kind of noticed this early in the year, sorting through stats. Every time I went to anything related to shot attempts, shots, on-ice shots, anything related to shots, Cutter Gauthier was near the top of the list. Those guys are generating legitimate attempts, and they are big. Like, of all the guys that have, or all the teams that have good young guys, their young guys are big bodies too. That Seneke's big. So to me, it's like, that's the making of a team that would be built around it in the years ahead. Could be a playoff type good team.
Yeah, they've got some older guys in the back end, so they'll have to bring in some other young guys. I really like Jackson Lacombe on the back end. You got Dostal. Their team is definitely built to slowly get there, but getting there and then winning is very different. Toronto's still waiting for that. Edmonton didn't really start to win until 6 years into McDavid's career, like winning the playoffs, right? Like being good and competitive in the regular season is one thing. Then, making the playoffs is step 2, and then trying to win in the playoffs. And that's when it becomes really hard. But there is excitement in Anaheim and San Jose, Chicago, I think, like with Spencer Knight, like that Seth Jones trade obviously worked out well for Florida, but it's working out pretty well for Chicago. That's been a win-win trade.
Yeah. And I would add Montreal into this list, where it's like people get so excited, actually Ottawa too. People get so excited to get out of the basement, right? Like, it's a rebuild, you're struggling, you're bad. And all of a sudden the team turns the corner and people go, oh, well, here it is. It's time. Like, I hear Montreal, they're going to add Kadri, or they're going to add Ryan O'Reilly. Like, Jason, you guys there in Edmonton have watched your team go deep, Game 6, Game 7, Stanley Cup final, and seen what it needs. Montreal Canadiens are not Nazem Kadri short of winning the cup. They are not right there. It's like a golfer going from a 30 to a 20 handicap is doable. 20 to a 15, sure. It starts to get real hard after that. to find the next layers of improvement. And that's where a lot of these teams are. And I'll be honest, that's why the Buffalo Sabres are so baffling. They can't go from a 30 to a 20. All these other teams have done that quick, but it is harder once you get better and get into the mix of playoffs with the real teams.
Yeah. Oh, hey, it is a big jump for sure. But you know what? If somebody goes in, somebody has to go out. What about the Boston Bruins, Justin? Looking at that team and you know, a few years ago, obviously the greatest regular season record of all time, and then they hit the skids, and then they got rid of one goalie, and then last year was a debacle for them. Are you surprised at Boston and how they started this season?
Yeah, you know what? I'm surprised at Boston, but I think this is what happens when the league is just this gross mess of parity. Like, the other day, Tampa Bay beat New Jersey 5-1, and it brought them to a positive goal differential. And they were at that moment the only team in the Atlantic Division with a positive goal differential. Like, every team is the same. They're all okay. And so Boston this week happened to be the team that had won a few in a row and were maybe healthier than some other teams or got some goaltending, so they're on top. But I'm not buying the Bruins as a team here. You know, like, there's nothing there for me to be like, you know, look out for Pasternak and, you know, I don't know who else you like. So it's funny. I've never seen the league look like this before. And that's why I don't think, you know, where the Leafs are at, the Oilers are at, some of these teams that have been good in the past, I don't think they're done. They're just kind of finding their way. And then we've got plenty of past history to believe that these teams are better than this, which is extremely average.
Yeah. You mentioned the parity in the NHL, and it is, you know, right now it's more than anything that I can recall seeing. There's not a lot of teams at the top that are really dominating right now. Colorado, I guess, would maybe be the one. You know, they're 13-6. 5 of those losses, of course, are overtime losses, and you know, but like New Jersey's 13-6, pretty good. But no one has, like, outside of Colorado, no one has 1 or 2 losses. And you go to the bottom, and you know, Calgary, sure, but you know, you look at teams in the mix of 2 or 3 points from a playoff spot. That's where the majority of the teams are right now.
Yeah.
Do you think it lasts, or is it simply because we've had such an increase in 3-point games?
Yeah, you know, it's the 3-point games thing is a big one. I don't, you know, this is a couple weeks old, this stat, not sure where it's at now, but at that point, as of a couple weeks ago, 28.3% of NHL games had gone to overtime, which was the highest by like 5%, like a massive jump over what had been the highest rate in recent history. So, I don't know if you're seeing it too, but when you get close at the end of a game, particularly against out of conference teams, it seems like teams are pretty content to be like, look, let's grab our point here, and then we'll play a 3-on-3 game at the end for the extra one. And that's not great, right? Like, I think at some point the 3-point system that we all know about feels like so obvious that it has to happen. But no, it is. It's a lot of games that look kind of the same right now. There's just 32 teams, man. There's not enough good players to go around. And if we go to 34, it's not going to get better.
Yeah, there's been 91 out of 318 games have gone to overtime this season. So that is, that's a pretty high number. Like, it's on pace to shatter. Like last year, there was 271 in 1,300 games. So you know, they're on pace right now for like 360.
That can't happen.
Yeah.
That just can't.
Yeah. So I was looking, the most games ever was 307 back in 2013, 14. And that's when they played 1,230 games. So there's obviously a fewer games played then than now. Not a significant amount, but still some. So, you know, that was a higher percentage, but still not as high as it is right now. So maybe that comes down, but historically we see more 3-point games later in the year when teams like, hey, we just want to get a point. So if there's this many early, I'm like, oh my God, like what's going to happen after the Olympic break?
And not to interrupt you, sorry, but like, I don't know what your thoughts are on 3-on-3, because you get to watch some electric players, but man, it's pretty terrible right now, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, dude, they have to eliminate over and back. It's awful.
I agree. I mean, I've tweeted about the Canucks and taken a hard time for making it about them because all teams do it. But like, I've watched some overtime games recently where I'm like, Like, do they know what they're trying to do? It's not like the team with the puck the longest gets the win. You got to get it in their net. It's baffling to watch right now.
Yeah, I don't love it. The excitement of 3-on-3 isn't where it was originally, and the skill level's higher. Of course. I would honestly, the simple solution just to say, guys, over and back now. And now teams wouldn't circle back. And now guys are going to attack a little bit more. So maybe guys are out of position better. That would be good both ways. So I actually think it's an easy solution to fix. And I know the NHL, when they had so many games going to a shootout, remember they changed the rules from 4-on-4 to 3-on-3 because they didn't like the fact there was too many games. And now we're starting to get more games go to a shootout. That's not what the league wants. They don't mind the overtime games. They don't like the shootout games. And because they're up, that's the only time they'll ever change and say, hey, wait, we want less of this. So this might be, as crazy as it sounds, like cheer for shootouts, because then you know a rule change is coming.
Yeah, no, and I totally can see them implementing that rule. It's funny, people really get their back up over rule changes, but you look at Major League Baseball, threw in the pitch clock and, putting a guy on second in extra innings. And I think pretty universally it's been welcomed by baseball fans. I think as hockey fans, we could open our mind to a simple change there.
Yeah. Quickly looking ahead to the Olympics, and we know that Schaefer got added, no surprise. Would you have him as like your number 8 on that Olympic team?
Well, I don't know if you saw my tweet a few days ago, but I had the audacity to say I'd take Evan Bouchard, and I got to tell you, what a surprising reaction. It was maybe the most polarizing thing I've ever tweeted, apparently. To me, I'm not sure. If you watch Schaefer, he makes some mistakes defensively, and he's also not playing the toughest competition. Adam Pelech does that for the Islanders, so they protect him a little bit. I just think it's such a big ask. Like he turned 18 9 seconds ago. You can't tell me Bouchard, who's been in the Stanley Cup Finals multiple times, doesn't give you more. Someone who's been there before, right?
Yeah. Well, the thing about Bouchard is, and I understand because when people who only watch the highlights, they see a lot of Bouchard on the highlights of some big errors. So I get that. But a lot of the highlights don't show a lot of the good plays he makes. And anybody who's watched the playoffs, even Edmonton, the guys like, I don't like Bouchard, but in the playoffs, I like playoff Bouchard. So he has shown an ability when the games matter to really increase his competitiveness, everything. He's way better. We've seen that for 3 years. So I can see the argument when someone says, hey, this is going to be the most pressure time. Well, who has played well in pressure moments? Evan Bouchard. He has. Well, no one can argue that.
He has, and it's also the factor of, like, everyone's talking about, well, can you protect the lead? It's like, well, you need to get one for one. And I can see a scenario, like, let's say you get shut out by the Americans and you only score once against, Czechia, and you're going, okay, we got to do something. We got to generate more offense. It's Evan Bouchard time, put him in. I can't see a game state or a scenario where you're like, it's Travis Sanheim time. We got to get Sanheim out there. To me, there's a utility for Bouchard that I struggle to find with some of the other guys. So yes, I get his shortcomings. I'm aware of them, but I just think, if it's not Bouchard, you're taking an extra guy. So you're talking about, do you like Brandon Montour that much more? Do you like, it's a matter of who else you would take.
Yeah. No, it's totally understandable. I do think, do I think he'll make the team? I'd be surprised because Hockey Canada has a real tendency.
I don't think last night helped.
No. Although last night, what's funny? Last night in that game, well, Bouchard wasn't on the ice. He was on the ice for the one goal against, right? And on Leonard, and I actually didn't mind Leonard's play there. I thought Bouchard wasn't like, okay, you get beat sometimes, it happens, but wasn't a glaring error or anything last night from Bouchard. I know Hockey Canada would be surprised if they picked him because they're going to say, and they've got lots of options, right? They can look and say, hey, we got lots of other guys that are close, and we can go with a safer pick that we think is a little bit more reliable. Maybe it doesn't give us the high-end potential of a Bouchard, and that's what they'll go with. It's kind of like, do you think they pick both Celebrini and Bedard?
Yeah, I just think they're undeniable right now. Like, you get to take 14 forwards. We took 13 to the Four Nations face-off. So if you take a few guys out of the Four Nations, so let's say I got Konechny out, you could talk me into Cirelli out. I don't know if Stone's going to be healthy. So let's say you take 3 guys out, you have to add 4 guys. Bedard, Celebrini, Mark Scheifele's 5th in league scoring right now. Nick Suzuki is Selke candidate and putting up big numbers. I got those 4 guys in, and I don't know that you get them, they dress necessarily, but I think they're in my 14 guys right now. I just feel like they've made themselves undeniable.
Yeah. Justin, great stuff, buddy. Always good to catch up with you, man. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right. Thanks for having me. Talk to you.
There you go. That's Sportsnet analyst Justin Bourne. 426. When we come back, we'll get to the pregame show. Myself, Walker, Connor Halley here on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Remember the daily grand, $1,000 a day for the next 20 years. Get your tickets at PlayAlberta.ca. And while you're there, check out the new Jason Gregor Show special. It's on the left side when you click on sports. You'll see it right there. Go click on it, and good luck.
Performance by Action Electrical today. Their projects team kicks things off, designing and building with unmatched skill.
Then the service team swoops in for those crucial repairs and maintenance. And don't forget the testing team, ensuring everything's safe and sound before the solar team scores with sustainable energy.
A complete team effort. Have Action Electrical bring home a win for you and your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Is your company drowning in paperwork and administrative tasks? Do you need more data to make better decisions? Nectar.io is your company's all-in-one solution for fleet and materials management, safety, time cards, and GIS-based project management. Now is the time to capture and transform field, site, and shop data into boardroom-level business intelligence, all with one login. Visit Nectar.io to book a demo today. Nectar.io, your business made better.
Hey everybody, it's Chief Principe and Jason Stredler. Join us on a 7-night cruise through the Mexican Riviera, leaving from Los Angeles and including Cabo, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, and more. While we relax and cruise the tropical waters and have some drinks with umbrellas in them, you could attend an intimate meet and greet with legends like Bill Ranford, Jason Strudwick, Kelly Buchberger, Ron Lowe, Jack Michaels, Louis DeBrusque, and more. Don't miss out on every hockey fan's dream cruise, the Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise. It's going to be one hell of a trip. Price start at just $23.99. Part of the proceeds support the Ben Stelter Foundation and Kids with Cancer.
The Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise, July 2026. Visit cast.tours/Edmonton or call 1-833-347-7678. Book now and save $500 per cabin when you mention promo code Stingray Radio. That's cast.tours/Edmonton.
The basketball show turns 10, and we welcome a new generation of basketball talk. Hoop City with Paul Sir airs Saturday mornings from 10 till noon on Sports 1440. From grassroots to NBA to the Olympics, we've got you covered.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
I'm getting McDonald's. You want anything?
Oh, yeah. I'll get I'm obviously going to get the McVeggie, medium fries and a medium fountain drink for $9.99. It's my favorite meal, and it's new. Plus, if I get that, maybe he'll want it too. And then he'll always thank me for introducing him to the McVeggie. I'll be a hero.
So, McVeggie fries and drink?
How'd you know?
You were thinking out loud again. Get yourself a McVeggie meal for just $9.99 plus tax for a limited time only at participating McDonald's restaurants.
For one day only, Friday, November 21st, The Brick is releasing Black Friday deals early. Get a sneak peek at the hottest offers on furniture, mattresses, appliances, and electronics. Save 65% off sofas when you buy the matching Love Cedar chair, up to 50% off mattresses, and up to $1,000 off when you buy 2 or more select major appliances. Plus, they pay the GST. Check out more one-day-only deals and additional offers in-store. Some exclusions apply. See in-store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Course of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. The Oilers are back in action and OTR is ready to be your hockey headquarters. $5.75 Molson Canadian, 69-cent wings, and play score and win every game. See more at OnTheRocksYEG.com.
It's the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Edmonton's only 24/7 sports station, Sports 1440.
All right. Hello, everybody. It's 4:30 on your Thursday afternoon. I thought the game was at 5. It is not. Is it at 5:30? On that note, Connor, I had set up Landon for right away, so texting will be a half an hour. But yes, Oilers, that's how excited I am about this game tonight. I didn't even know what time it was on. Oilers and Lightning coming up in an hour from now. This is the Titan Supply pregame show. Your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca. It's not here for the old pregame yesterday, and another post-game show I thankfully missed as the Oilers lose again. I'm very, very negative today. I don't know if you can tell. Very, very down on what's going on in Oilerland, Greg's.
Well, yes. Well, yesterday was not much different than what you'd seen before. They have
it kind of was.
Well, they have a terrible first period defensively, which we've seen before. The goalie doesn't make a key save, which when they need, we've seen that before.
Yeah.
And now they did get 2 goals from their bottom 6, so we hadn't seen that before. So that was
right.
Good.
Offensively, it was actually, dare I use the word, encouraging. They had a bunch of high danger chances, and Tomasic scored. Like, that's just a goal we haven't seen, right? And they battled back, and they that was good.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a fire wagon game. Like, for every chance they got, they gave up one as well. So I don't know if it's not one thing, it's the other right now, and with this team.
Well, there's lots of areas to improve.
Yes. Yeah.
That's a positive. Lots of areas to improve for a night.
Over the next hour, lots to get to. Landon Farrar is going to join us in about 30 minutes. Our game day analyst will give you the clue for the River Cree over under. I'll be honest, I might leave it up to Connor and Declan, because for the life of me, I can't think of a good one for the River Cree over under contest tonight. We'll coming back from the next commercial break. We'll figure it out and give it to you, and you give us a text on the Weiss Johnson text line 1-833-401-1440. So I have a surprise, because as much as I don't want to talk about this game, because it's Calvin Pickard versus Andrei Vasilevsky. What will happen? I don't know. Who could figure this one out? So we'll talk a little bit about the Oilers, but I have a little contest for you fellas. So I was in the mall a little earlier today, and I was putting together a little gift package for a friend of mine, and including that, I was searching out some hockey cards from the local hobby shop. Everybody he owns on his fantasy hockey team, and so they had a little deal on. I haven't opened a pack of hockey cards for a long time, so this is what I have for you, Greg's. This is for you. You get to open this pack. It's from 21-22, and Connor, this is for you. Now this pack, there's six cards in Greg's pack. Now there was 10 in this one, so I separated this one into 2, but I didn't look at them. So you get to open that, and then I have my little bag of cards here. I didn't see what was in here.
Oh, all right.
And so basically,
my first card,
the best grouping,
retired.
the best. Well, they're a few years old. I think that's why they were on sale. But the best grouping wins. We'll say.
Okay, well.
And then your kid can have them all.
I got Blake Wheeler.
He is retired.
Yeah, but he was a captain.
Yeah, not bad. Old wheels.
800 points.
Yeah.
Soft as
soft as puppy crap, but
I got oh god. I got PK Subban.
Is the card talking? Is the card yapping?
It's it's his devil's card.
That's the quietest I've ever seen PK Subban looking at his hockey card. Yeah.
This is a good one. Now, this is when he was on the team that he didn't win with, but now he's on Florida. Sam Reinhart.
Oh, so it's a Sabres Rhino. That was a worthless card when it came out. Probably now it's very
now it's got something. Another retired guy, Tuukka Rask. Yeah. So it's a pretty good player. Joel Eriksson Ek, good player. I like him.
Oh, that might be his rookie card.
No, he's a little bit older than that. And Tristan Jarry.
And Tristan Jarry, the former Edmonton Oil King.
Yes.
My pack sucks, although I did get a marquee rookie, Kent Johnson. So that's probably a decent one. Little retro look.
All right.
I have a Victor Golofsson.
Who?
Golofsson, as I call him.
All right.
Another Buffalo Sabre. I have a Dawson Mercer, the pride of Newfoundland.
Yeah.
For the Devils, I have a Phoenix Coyote, Shane Gostisbehere. I don't remember him playing there.
The Ghost was there for.
I remember, he broke in with Philly, very exciting player. Now he's an excellent player for Carolina.
Oh God, yeah. No, the Ghost was there for 2 years.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, he had 50. He had 50 points in the year this card was made.
Oh yeah,
and then a JG Pajot for the Islanders.
Jean-Jacques.
Yeah, very Jean Gabriel.
Oh, is it Jean Gabriel? Oh no, yeah, Jean-Jacques is. I'm thinking.
Jean-Jacques. Jean-Jacques.
That was for the.
No,
Oilers.
wait, J.F. Jacques.
No,
Jean-Francois Jacques or J.J. Daigneault. Remember J.J. Daigneault? So I think you beat me. What do you got there, Connor?
Not a great lineup. We've got.
I guess you're on YouTube. I can show the Kent Johnson. Looking pretty good. Yeah.
I've got Mike Amadio.
I don't know who that is. No, I do, but yeah.
Parker Kelly.
Parker. Wow, you got just a grinder pack.
We're gonna ramp it up here. Jeff Carter.
Carter with the Kings.
Penguins. Jeff Carter here.
Oh.
I've got Wi-Fi himself.
Oh,
Arbor Jack
guy. A little physicality there, and then Timo Meyer, San Jose.
Isn't that offensive? The Wi-Fi wasn't it deemed by the internet to be very offensive to Arbor Jack guy?
Oh no.
Why?
Well, because it's like, oh, your name's so complicated. It's like a Wi-Fi signal, but that's his heritage. It's very offensive.
Maybe
as everything is.
Maybe it was offensive too. Well, some people are you offended? Good. You can
it was like the most clever nickname in NHL history.
That was honestly.
I loved it because no one could say. Well, the first time you saw the name, you're like, nope, not even trying that one.
Like I would
not even attempted.
Should love to. We should get him on the show. So, can you tell us what have been the best butchering of your name?
Oof.
Because God, he's got some beauties.
Well, you go to some Pee Wee tournament and
those are the greatest.
There's some dad on the mic.
Oh, and one of your buddies on the team, we used to we had a guy on our team, Lance, and his last name was Charwa, but it was how it was spelled. He was Cheerios, Chariot. Oh God, he used to roar.
Well, it's like the rookie for Dallas. I don't even know what it looks like, but Ritzkovian is how you say it. And there's no way unless you're from that descent, unless you're looking at that name, there is no way you get Ritzkovian. I remember working in Toronto and
it starts with the H. It's got the silent H. Is that what you're talking
correct.
about? Okay.
HHRYC. It just makes no sense. No sense at all. Ritzkovian was the 95th name I would have thought of, to be honest.
Ritzkovian.
Correct. Yeah, it looks like someone's sneezing.
Yeah.
When I was working in Toronto, big NBA draft, big year for the Raptors. They were interested in this guy. The first time I came across the name on the radio of Giannis Antetokounmpo, I was just nope, no chance. Not even gonna try. And now it's a household name because he's an MVP and world champion. But when he was just a first round draft prospect out of Greece, good luck. Good luck even attempting that.
No, I could see that. There's lots of great unique names. We had a fun segment on our show with Struddy where he used to just give him names and try to get him to enunciate them.
Enunciation isn't Strud's strong suit. He has a lot of strong suits.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, I sometimes with Struds,
no, when he had to do tennis. Hey, God.
Gregor was on vacation once, and we probably spent 3 minutes with a Miami reporter trying to get him to say Tagovailoa.
Oh my
that
God,
one, that one is still a little tough. Yeah. Sometimes I do wonder. I hear Struds' ad for his go on a cruise with the Edmonton hockey legends, and I'm like, how many takes did
16.
that? Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. That's numbers about right. That sounds about right. How many takes? Here, you're.
One looks kind of like retro.
Yeah,
right?
Very cool. Yeah.
I might not mind that.
You know what though? I between the ages of I would say 9 and 15, every penny that I ever made, birthdays, whatever, shoveling snow, whatever it was, mowing grass, every penny went to hockey cards.
Yeah,
and then when I turned 16 and got a car, you have different priorities and bills. I have so many hockey cards. I loved it. I think it was a ramp up into what I did for a career because you didn't have the internet. I just read the back of hockey cards, and that's where you learn where guys are from and who they played for and what their stats were and their birthdays and everything like that. But so I'm in the hobby shop down here in the mall. I'm picking up some cards, and I was like, I should get a few packs. You know how expensive hockey cards are? It's insane,
dude.
It's like old guys buy them for $100 a pack, hoping they get it's like, where's the collectibles anymore?
No, it's
like these packs were like, a few bucks each, but they're from 2021. Crazy.
We used to, and there was no stores committed to it. It wasn't a business back then. Like, how many people in the 80s had Gretzky rookie cards in the spokes of their BMX bike? Because it was like, this sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And you used to go to Max, man, and you get the OPG cards. Like, oh, I had tons of them. And it was hilarious, though. There's certain cards you just got so many of. Like Don McMillan. And I remember all the Don Lever. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, it's same old. And I went through them because I have all mine still.
Yeah.
And I went through them and I was still laughing. I was dying.
You must have a few good ones in there then.
Oh, yeah. But they're not in any condition to resell, but they look awesome because, like
they got to be
like a kid
mint.
I handled them.
Yeah,
like,
you touched them.
Nowadays, it's like you get good cards. Some people don't even open the packs. Like they have those boxes you can buy a whole year, right? Like you can buy the box. People don't open it because they're like, I'm going to sell it in 25 years.
There was a guy that was a big story. What, a couple of years ago?
Yeah,
it was the Gretzky rookie year, and he sold it or he bought it for like $3 million or something.
Yeah,
but it ended up not being a great purchase, I think. Yeah,
probably not.
I have this big box of the collectible ones, which I know people make fun of them, but the pro sets, right? You could buy them for $1 a pack, and like just such a great thing as a kid to have something affordable. You collect. This set was like 700 cards, absolutely worthless, like not worth anything. And then kids get priced out, but I think it's so great. That's why I always loved the McDonald's promotions or whatever, because they're not real cards, but they kind of are, and kids can collect them. So I still have all of. I think they're at my folks' place. Actually, they probably want me to take it back, but I do have this little box with all my like cherished ones, right? And there's some pretty good ones in there, and ones that I've handled and ones that I didn't handle. And one of my favorite ones, I have it's a not that it's worth a bunch, but I just love the card. And it's a Michael Jordan baseball rookie card. And it like the photo is of him in the outfield, just kind of dicking around in spring training, shooting a baseball like a basketball for fun. It's such a cool card. And it was like his first minor league baseball card. Yeah. Right. So I don't know, might be worth a few bucks, but
it's a business. But back when you collected cards, you just collected them for fun. You were not thinking it was worth anything. You were like,
no,
hey, you know what? I know them all. You try to trade with your friends. You try to get a whole team. Like I remember the whole goal was try to get every player on the team, not because it was going to be worth any money, just because I wanted to get every player on the team.
Right.
You go to Max and you used to have the terrible gum in the card that was rock solid, but you still ate it anyway. Lasted taste for about 3 seconds. And it was awesome.
And you get like a check, like you could buy a pack of 12, and one of the cards was a checklist, so you could figure out what you had.
Yeah. The checklist card was unbelievable because then you knew what you had. Yeah, it's fantastic.
I was always so excited because I thought maybe my cards would be worth something one day too, like as a kid. So like every couple of months, I'd go buy a Beckett magazine, right? It was the price guide. And then I'd furiously look up all my cards, and of course they hadn't changed. Like they're still worth exactly the same, which was next to nothing. But no, listen, so many hours, so much fun. And then I don't know if I've opened a pack in 20 years. All right, to this stupid game, Oilers and Lightning coming up. I'm beginning to the term worry, right? Like you've done this long enough. I've done this long enough. You can't overreact. It's the worst part of sports fandom, which people are allowed to do, right? The team's superstars. They've been to 2 straight Stanley Cup finals, blah, blah, blah. And all that said, like, yes, the standings dictate you're not out of anything. This, like, it's been very frustrating, but there they are. But what's your concern level that not that the hole is too deep to dig themselves out of it, because that's silly. But like, is there a point where you're like, this is just not the year for whatever reason? They're not idiots. They know they have to upgrade the goaltending, but with who, right? Like that's a big question right now. With what cap space, you want to bring. At what point do you think, or are you closer to the track of saying they're just not a very good hockey team, and I don't see it changing for a while?
Well, when I just look at their defense core, and they're capable of playing better. I think
that's the one element I am bullish on. I think their D is fine.
And they score enough. They have enough offense. They're just not playing very well right now. And they have they'll go, like you look at last night, the first period was a tire fire for them defensively as a group. And then they get down and then they claw their way back and they play well and they outchanced Washington in that game. Not severely, but they did. Like the high danger chance, I think were according to ClearSight. And I like ClearSight analytics. Like I know a lot of people use Natural Stat Trick. I'm like, don't. Natural Stat Trick had Buffalo having 37 scoring chances. 37.
That's a lot.
Like,
that's a
what
lot.
are you talking? They didn't even have 37 goals. I mean, shots on goal for God's sakes. So it's so stupid. But nonetheless, the ClearSight had the high danger chances 9-8 in favor of Edmonton. Medium chances were 7-7, and low danger Edmonton had more, but they're low danger, so they're a chance, but they're still low percentage of scoring. I think it was like 11-5, and so Edmonton was expected to score 4 goals, and 3.62, and they scored 4, and Washington was expected to score 3.25, they scored 5. So goaltending didn't help Edmonton again. I thought their first period was bad, and then they played better in long stretches. They controlled the game, but that's the problem is. This season, they haven't been able to, we give up a goal or 2. They haven't been able to stop it. It'll last a period or a period and a half. And that's the difference from last year. Teams are going to have runs. Teams are going to have momentum. And you know what? Maybe 1 out of every 5 games, you'll have a bad game or the other team will just be better. That'll happen.
Yes.
But right now, it's happened on way too high of a frequency basis for the skill set of the team of the Edmonton Oilers. And so there's lots of things missing right now.
So this is not overly great analysis, okay, but this is more of a feeling, and I had a very unique moment last night. So and this is why I'm a little sour today on this team. So I grew up, especially in my life, I've cheered for a lot of bad teams, right? So that's why the losses of the Cup Finals and the Jays in the World Series, like it's tough because I've spent a lot of years cheering for a lot of teams. Like I'm a Riders fan, right? They have 5 Grey Cups. They've been around for 300 years, right? So like historically, they weren't very good, and they find one once in a while, right? Yeah. I'm a Detroit Lions fan. They went 0-16. Like now they're kind of it right now. They're with it. But there's a lot of weeks where I'd be if I'm ever a little late to a game, your team is bad, and you flip it on and they're down 14-0. Happened all the time. Right? With the Oilers, 06 was great. I missed the cup runs, obviously. But you go through the decade of darkness, you still watch a lot of games, and it's like you're a little late to get in the game. It's like, I can catch the second. You're down 3-0, right? Like there's no point in watching the game. For a lot of years growing up, the Blue Jays missed the playoffs for 25 years. I'd get home off the bus from school, and the games begin at 5 p.m. and I flip it on. It's the second inning, down 4-1, like every time. And last night, so I missed the game. I was playing hockey, and we go into the pub after, and I had that same feeling. And I haven't experienced it for a long time, where I knew I was a few minutes late. I'm like, I hope they're not down 2-0. No, it's 3-1. And like the game just started, and it's 3-1. I'm like, of effing course, it's 3-1. And I hadn't had that feeling for a long time. And I realized like I'm not overreacting. I think they got good players. I think they have a decently high ceiling. It's not over or anything like that, but my trust factor is very, very low. And I realized that last night.
Well, I think people now watch the game and they're nervous because they're anticipating either a bad defensive play or a weak goal. I think if you polled most fans right now, when you watch the game, before the game starts, what's mentally in your head? And I think it's probably those two things more than even, McDavid's going to make a great play. Dross doesn't. It's going to we're going to let in a bad goal and we're going to make a bad defensive read. It's going to be one of those two.
Right. And when, a play like, let's say the Bouchard last night, where he kind of gets dummied by Leonard, it's like, he's not getting bailed out, right? The goalie's not making a save to bail out your D.
Yeah.
That's the feeling right now. And I don't know, hard to pull yourself out of it on a 7-game road trip going through the gauntlet of good teams that they're going through. But again, not that Tampa's lighting the world on fire right now. They have their own frustrations and injury troubles and things like that. But it still feels daunting. 1-833-401-1440 is the text line. Landon Ferraro on the other side. We'll get to a lot of stuff, including a look at the lines for Nisku Ford, and yes, your Cree or your clue for the River Cree over/under contest. It's coming up on Sports 1440.
Oilers pregame is brought to you by Titan Supply. Built on trust, driven by safety. The Titan way. Visit titansupply.ca. Across rural Alberta, volunteers and community groups work hard to make life better for their neighbors, creating new playgrounds, better rinks, and gathering places that bring us together. Vision Credit Union is proud to lend these local heroes a helping hand. Apply today for a Helping Hand grant up to $10,000 to support your community's next big idea. Let's make great things happen together. Applications are open until January 31st, 2026. Learn more at whatsyourshare.ca.
The days are getting shorter, temperatures dropping. Time to take a good look at your furnace. Here's Dennis from Weiss Johnson with some pre-winter words of wisdom.
Don't wait. Get your furnace inspected sooner than later. Nothing worse than furnace issues when it's suddenly 40 below, right?
Absolutely.
And if it's time for a replacement, we offer the full line of energy-efficient Goodman furnaces. Your family will love the comfort, and you'll appreciate lower heating bills thanks to Goodman.
Weiss Johnson, your Goodman furnace experts for sales and installations. Visit Weiss-Johnson.com.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
Winter in Alberta doesn't mess around.
And neither does Titan Supply.
For over 50 years, we've earned the trust of our customers across a variety of industries.
Because we lead with integrity,
honesty,
and respect.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Brent from Titan Supply. When the weather hits hard,
we're fully stocked with rigging, lifting, and hauling gear that works as hard as you do.
Titan Supply.
Built on trust, driven by safety.
Serving Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary.
Let us help you face the weather the Titan way.
Visit TitanSupply.ca.
The Nissan Black Friday event is here. A full month packed with awesome vehicles and exclusive deals. Right now, finance remaining 2025 Rogue models for 0% for up to 60 months and start planning your adventures. This Black Friday, we've got great offers and limited inventory. Get yours today before they're all gone. These offers won't last. Go see your local Nissan dealer or Nissan.ca for more details. Conditions apply.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information. For one day only, Friday, November 21st, The Brick is releasing Black Friday deals early. Get a sneak peek at the hottest offers on furniture, mattresses, appliances, and electronics. Save 65% off sofas when you buy the matching love seat or chair, up to 50% off mattresses, and up to $1,000 off when you buy 2 or more select major appliances. Plus, they pay the GST. Check out more one-day only deals and additional offers in-store. Some exclusions apply. See in-store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Touch base on the Weiss Johnson text line, 1-833-401-1440. Keep your home warmer and energy costs down with a Goodman furnace installed by the pros from Weiss Johnson. Visit Weiss-Johnson.com for your new Goodman furnace.
Oilers pregame is brought to you by Titan Supply. Built on trust, driven by safety. The Titan way. Visit TitanSupply.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. What's the best way to beat the tariffs? Buy Canadian. Cantork's products are not only made in Canada, but right here in Edmonton. Save money, support Canada at Cantork.com.
Sports 1440 and the pregame show with Andrew Walker. We are Edmonton's sports leader.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We are about 35 minutes away from the drop of the puck. The Edmonton Oilers, the Tampa Bay Lightning, the road trip continues. I'll be more positive, I promise. Titan Supply brings you the pregame show, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit TitanSupply.ca. Andrew Walker horning in on the Jason Gregor Show for a little bit. Gregor Show continues from 5:30 to 6 p.m. All right, the River Cree over-under contest. This is how it works. Give me a text on the Weiss Johnson text line, 1-833-401-1440. Tell us over or under, and you could win $100 to the River Cree Resort and Casino, where you can catch all your favorite sports live on the big screens, like the new Westminster Dog Show, perhaps at Tap 25 and in the Center Bar. Visit rivercreeresort.com. I hate doing this. This is from Declan and Connor. I hate picking on Brett Kulak because I have a lot of time for Brett Kulak over the years. Didn't have the greatest of games the other night or last night against Washington. Nobody did. He was particularly bad. And over the last, I think in November, what is it? 0-15, 5-on-5. Not great. So we're looking at Brett Kulak tonight. He needs a bounce back performance. A lot of people do. Will he be even or better. So we're just looking at his plus minus 5 on 5. Even is a win, right? And I think we all agree on that. So even is over, and anything minus is under. So how will Brett Kulak's night go tonight? 1-833-401-1440. Rockford on the text line. How is it there's no goalie available out there? Because I get it. It's something a lot of people hear. I think you can upgrade Pickard easy enough. Like, if you really want to go get some random up and down AHL fourth string, you could do that. And to be honest, I'd be in favor of that. But the thing that really counts is if and when and how they upgrade on Skinner. And I do believe in, I mean, I'm sure they're always, Stan Bowman's not an idiot. He's always talking to people, always talking to other GMs. That's what good GMs do, I think. But I don't know if the right guy is out there for them to be pulling the trigger right now.
Well,
it's just really easy to say, go get Saros.
Well, I can just tell. Do you see Saros? And everybody who says go get Saros, first of all, Nashville isn't retaining salary, and if it is, it might be $1 million for 7 years. They're not retaining much more than that. And every dollar they retain, you got to pay more to convince them to retain it. So even if he retains $2 million, you still got to ship out 5. So Skinner would be 2.6. You still got to ship out more money to do it, right? I was told pretty flat out that Saros at this stage is not a realistic option.
Right. I mean, and I would agree. And a lot of this, I mean, everybody's a no trade, right? Like this has to go through a number of layers of different guys. And listen, the Preds aren't where they wanted to be, but they just gave Saros a big extension and traded Askarov. They're like, we don't need this kid because he's not starting here, not anytime soon, because we got our guy. Now plans change, obviously, when you're dreadful, and Stamkos has 4 points and Svechkov has 1 point. And like, what do you do, right? But yes, that was the question on the Weiss Johnson text line. Do we have Landon? All right, Landon Ferraro, our game day analyst, former NHLer for Ed's Auto Salvage. I did give you the wrong time because I didn't even know what time the game was at. That's how prepared I am today. Landon Ferraro joins us on the phone line for Ed's Auto Salvage, the used parts experts with province-wide shipping, daily delivery to Edmonton. Visit edsautosalvage.com. I was not on the post-game show last night. You were. What was your overriding theme from last night, Landon?
I mean, it was just more of the same. Like, there were some parts that looked a little better, but at the end of the day, like, I said this line last night, like, you'd zone out on the sound every once in a while, and then the thing that snapped you back in was 2-on-1, 2-on-1, 2-on-1. Like, the amount of odd man rushes was just unbelievable, really. Like, and just coming out of nothing. So again, I mean, I feel like I said this before, but like, to me, like, the fixes are not that hard. It's just more about committing to the defensive side and not taking as many, especially risky pinch-ins. Like, unless you're going to get the puck 100%, you can't keep going and giving up breaks behind you.
You know how sometimes, Greg's, you just get really under the weather, or you're sick, or you have a really bad cold or a flu, and you still got to work. You still got to function in life. You got kids, you got commitments. And sometimes you just like, it feels like you will never get better, right? It feels like how do I, you forget what it feels like to feel good sometimes, right? And that's how I kind of feel watching this Oilers team. It's like, yes, realistically, like Landon said, the fixes are there. We've seen even the guys that I know you don't like, the Skinners, I'm talking about the fans, the Skinners and the Bouchards and the Nurses. We've seen them all play championship level hockey, right? Darnell Nurse had a hell of a year last year. Brett Kulak struggling right now. I have a lot of time for Brett Kulak, but we're at that point. It's like in the middle, Landon, of being sick, where you're like, I don't even remember what it feels like to feel healthy. And that's where I am with the Oilers right now. It feels like that. Like how do you ever see them being a wagon again this season?
Yeah, but like, how do you generally get through those times in your life, right? Like, you lean on other people in your life to help you out a bit. And right now, I mean, not right now, but last night in particular, like, there just wasn't any help from anywhere else. It was guys getting left out. Like even I believe it was the Leonard first goal. There's kind of the battle at the blue line, like the Oilers blue line. Podkolzin and Draisaitl and I believe Kulak are in on it. And they end up kind of losing the puck, and it goes down down to the half wall. Well, Draisaitl ends up in the corner, kind of standing by himself. He gets beat back to the net. Now that leaves Kulak standing in front, playing an awkward 2-on-1. Like, just again, like such preventable things, but you have to be engaged. You have to go after the puck and do it with some thought process too of having layers of support. I feel like with the Oilers, there's aggression, but there's no layers behind anything that they try doing, and it's all or nothing every single play. The Janmark one at the blue line before that pops over his foot, like that's a bouncing puck. You're kind of the last guy there. Like you can't be just standing and making the hope play.
Well, I thought their first period, like Brett Kulak is struggling right now. And I probably talk more about Brett Kulak this week than I had in the last 4 years, because normally he's just solid, you know what, to make some good plays, doesn't make a lot of mistakes. And you just looked at last night and his first shift, he's in the corner. He is closer to the net, and Wilson still beats him to the net. And he tries to check Wilson without even touching his stick. Wilson just stands there, empty net goal on the rebound. I didn't love the rebound, but still, if you're tying up your man, it's not going to be that easy of a rebound. And then you look at the second goal, his speed's his best asset. They dump the puck in. He has a 5-foot gap on the forechecker, gets back, slows down, loses the battle. They ring around to go to the point, goal. And I'm just like, those are plays that normally Brett Kulak doesn't make. And then his third shift, you're right, he was kind of caught in no man's land on the end of that shift. Emberson had actually had a really good hit outside the blue line, and Draisaitl, tried a back pass. It didn't work, goes off Emberson's stick. Like, he should have Draisaitl just should have dumped the puck behind the net. Like, the orders, and I looked up their numbers. McDavid, Draisaitl, Ekholm are three of the guys. Actually, Bouchard's are the same. Nurse is actually lower. Their defensive zone turnovers, those three guys are all on pace for career highs in defensive zone turnovers. And that, when I hear people talk about the system and they think, oh, it's the coaching system, I'm like, no. Their puck management as a team this year has been horrific, especially in their defensive zone.
Yeah, you're not wrong by any means. And, like there's times when, the really skilled guys are going to have turnovers trying to make plays. But when it's really kind of the whole team that's making softer plays, it's just like they don't seem like intense in much that they do, especially in their own end. And, I can't remember if it was it might have been in the pregame show yesterday about like just literally just getting your feet moving when you get a puck. Don't have your feet standing still and trying to make a play while everything else is moving. Like, that's hard to do. You got to get yourself kind of moving. Now you're a bit more engaged. But again, I think it's really important as well that, you make your reads, the game moves really fast, but there's going to be someone open. And these guys are good enough. And I think that's where the frustration is that like there's more than enough guys on this roster that are good enough to make poised plays. And we're not saying poised plays and then feeding it through someone's feet and like all this like kind of trickery type stuff. Literally just solid tape to tape passes, being a little bit closer in support for guys so that not every breakout pass has to be a stretch pass or a cross ice pass. Like, move up together through your end and through the neutral zone.
Landon, you might think this is dumb. I'm not sure, but you tell me, having, and obviously, you're a guy that was trying not to make mistakes and keep your spot in the lineup and everything like this. But in terms of defensively speaking for the Edmonton Oilers and from the spirit of like being hard to play against, my message, like if I was coaching the team today, my message defensively would be, okay, listen, like we're not going to instantly be great, right? We have a lot to work on. But if you get beat or if you're in the wrong position, don't be afraid to take a penalty, right? And like hand it to the PKers, like the Kulak play. Okay, yeah, Wilson's beaten to that. Haul him down, right? Leonard gets by Bouchard, kind of like grab him, bear hug him. Yeah, you take a penalty, but better than allowing just a 4-alarm chance on your goalie. And the penalty kills it off. And then this is kind of big brain thinking it, but like if you take 5 penalties, you think you're not going to get a couple? Like that's the way that NHL officials work. Right now, these Oiler games are 2 power plays for and 1 against. That doesn't help them at all. Don't compete, right?
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to take a penalty. That would be my messaging, because like Bouchard and Kulak, haul that guy down, and at least they don't score, right? Like, I don't know. You don't want to take a penalty if you're trying to keep your spot in the lineup. I get it, but that's what my messaging would be.
I mean, like, you can't be taking penalties all over the place, but yeah, when you are completely caught, sometimes it is kind of your best option. But to me, as soon as you start talking about messaging to the team, especially in the defensive zone, we just had Marcus Pettersson of the Canucks on our podcast yesterday, and talking, Vancouver's got some trouble in their own end, and he used the line of, you just can't stack mistakes on top of mistakes. And that's, I think, fits the Oilers to a T right now. Like, there's one mistake or one bad read, but then it's the next play as well that, well, now they're going to go try and fix that. And now they're a bit late getting there in support, and the play moves on, and now you're really toast, right? So it's trying to keep things in front of you and not making one little mistake into one that's going to end up in the back of your net.
The lineups tonight, it looks like Savoy and Hyman are changing. So Hyman's going to play with McDavid and Roslovic, Draisaitl, Mangiapane, and Podkolzin. So last night in Washington, I thought 5-on-5, Draisaitl's line did a lot. McDavid, when he was by himself, his line 5-on-5 did nothing. So now he's got the 2 best wingers with him again. But what do you make of that? The fact that, you put Mangiapane and Podkolzin with Draisaitl, you put Hyman and Roslovic with McDavid.
Well, I mean, as much as McDavid is, has still been very good this year, like, I don't know about you guys, but except for a few occasions, he doesn't quite seem the same. And I don't know if it's just so much more of kind of allowing himself to get pushed to the outside, but I don't feel like when he'd pick up a puck, even, in the game a couple nights ago when he just decided that we're not, like, this isn't happening, and he scores his 2 goals, like, when he'd pick up the puck, you'd get that feeling kind of in your chest of like, oh God, I need to watch because something's about to happen. I don't feel that very often from him right now. Like, I feel like as soon as he gets the puck, he's going to take it to the outside and then kind of stay that way. I think a lot of it too is just trying to find some answer. Like the Draisaitl line, they play heavy and can make plays out of that. And for, it doesn't make a ton of sense to me, because to me, like, you look at what Draisaitl plays with and you think that, and in no disrespect to these guys, but like, you think that he'd look around and be like, can I get one of those wingers? But for him, that almost simple style of player meshes well with him. McDavid, he moves so fast and wants to be able to interchange with his guys and feed it and get it back. He needs someone that's going to be able to keep up with his thought process and understand what he likes to do. Hyman is that. Roslovic does move very well and can make those in-tight plays. I've half decently liked Savoy, his speed and the energy that he plays with, but I mean, I understand what they're doing, but eventually, to go back to the same talk we've had every pre and post, like, there's gonna have to be some sort of sticking with some lines for a bit of time and let these guys figure it out themselves.
Landon, let's get to the Napa Auto Parts matchups for all your automotive needs. Go to your trusted experts in high-quality parts, tools, equipment, and more. That's Napa know-how. So Tampa is not off to the perfect start either. A lot of injuries. Their fourth line is basically, all AHLers at this point. They are going to have an advantage with the Vasilevsky-Pickard matchup tonight, but, part of me would think, like, in the NHL, when you think a team is dead meat, they always seem to win that game, right? But for the Oilers, back-to-back, coming off another rough loss against a pretty good hockey club, at face level or face value, you don't give them much of a chance. But what do you make of this matchup tonight?
Well, I mean, the Oilers should be very motivated to get into this game, and you bring up the forward line and the goalies, but it's the D that you really got to look at as well. Of no Hedman, no McDonough. There's holes in their big minute guys, and if you're the forwards of Edmonton, you got to be looking at that and thinking, like, this is where we can really turn it on and make the night hard on them, make those guys that are playing elevated minutes have to defend the majority of them and get them tired early and try and capitalize on it as the game moves along.
Their D is extremely banged up. Moser has some experience, and obviously Chernak has been part of their cup runs, but that's about it, man. Charles Edward Dastus is a career minor leaguer, and he's playing now. He scored the other day. Steven Stantini is up playing on this team. It's they are banged up on the blue line, so there's an opportunity.
Yeah, there really is, and again, that should be a motivating enough factor on top of just wanting to play some better hockey as a group, that just looking at that D-core, that's open season. That's where you got to get in and grind them, get to the inside. We're talking about the Oilers not getting many power plays. If they don't force those D into taking 2 or 3 penalties just by moving their feet consistently, I think, the Oilers are going to be in a tough spot tonight. I think that alone will show that they haven't been tough enough in the offensive zone and getting to the inside.
He's Landon Ferraro, former NHLer. He'll join us once again in the post-game show to talk about this one for Ed's Auto Salvage. Landon, thanks for this. Have a great evening. We'll talk to you in a few hours.
Yep, have a good one, guys.
All right, there's Landon Ferraro. Speaking of injuries, it is the Hairline Injury Report brought to you by Dr. Vance Elliott, the world leader in hair restoration. Visit drvanceelliott.com for a free consultation today. For the Oilers, it is still Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, obviously, and Kasperi Kapanen on the injured list. And then when you go to Tampa, no Hedman and no Ryan McDonough. Those are the big ones. The Hairline Injury Report brought to you by Dr. Vance Elliott. One more thought on, and again, this is a big brain thought. We probably need an hour or two, Greg's, to discuss it. But there is, McDavid still gets his points, right? He falls into points. He's dynamic enough. He could have a miserable year and still lead the NHL in scoring. That's what he does. Mm-hmm. There is a bit of an element, that I feel where everyone made such a big deal of his contract, and they should, right? He re-ups for 2 more years. And, the hockey world, and there's a lot of people that want to see the Oilers fail for whatever reason. A lot of people they were cursing it, right? Because it's oh, what a break for the organization, which is true. But that break doesn't come into effect until next year, right? So everyone's oh, what a disaster. It's not. It's all about next year. And there's an element to McDavid's game and the energy around this team, to me anyway, that everybody knows it's kind of about next year with the offseason and the cap space. And they want to win, but there's not a market. They're not going to fix their goaltending. They're just not, right? It doesn't seem to be, unless something really surprising happens, they're not going to fix their goaltending. They're not going to go and add a couple 7. There's no cap room right now. There will be, but there's not right now. They did their best, but right now Frederick's not contributing, and, different guys. So there's almost an element where this is how kind of I felt last year. And then somehow the team just kind of found itself in game 3 against LA. But last year, they weren't this cup contender the whole year. They kind of stumbled into it. I felt it wasn't 2 years ago where they looked unbeatable for stretches of the season. So I don't know, we've seen really good teams. Tampa's been one of them. They had a weird random down year where they missed the postseason, right? And I'm not saying it's ideal, but like a half-hearted deep playoff run that goes nowhere. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's just for this team, their big time window feels like next year, not this year. And I wonder if that energy permeates a little bit. Like McDavid knows it.
Yeah, I think he looks and says, man, because there's no guarantee. I don't think at this stage of his career he thinks he wants to waste a year. I think he firmly believes, like, look at their everybody believes their defense core is one of the best defense cores in the NHL. So it's not playing that well.
Yeah.
You look up front and, hey, you got Jack Rosovich for nothing, and he's playing great, right? Like, to get a top 6 forward, and that's what he's producing as top 6 forward for nothing for $1.5 million is like a steal. So you still got McDavid, you got Hyman back, now you got Draisaitl. Like, yes, the goaltending's a question that's totally valid.
Bottom 6 is no good, goalie's no good. You need both those things to win, and they're not going to be able to fix it.
Yeah, I'm not sure I agree that the bottom 6 is no good. The bottom 6 in October was fine. They had 9 crappy games to start the month. They scored 2 goals yesterday. Their bottom 6, actually, their bottom 6 this year has outscored their bottom 6 last year through 22 games, in fact. So I don't, and then keep in mind, Kapanen is, so you look at Nugent Hopkins and Kapanen come in the lineup. That means 2 guys out of your bottom 6 come out of the lineup. Now,
fair enough.
And it's probably, Philpin and Lazar are already out. Okay. So that means still 1 guy from yesterday's lineup has to come out of the lineup. And, some would say, okay, it's probably Tomasic. You could be right. But I don't mind him. I'd like to see him get a little bit more, like, he's got some skill. He's
felt
big,
like a big goal yesterday, right? For him.
And so there's kind of lots of I've liked about his play. If he's your 4th line guy, big body, and lots of teams have big bodies like that, I think their bottom 6 is good enough if you look around the league to other teams. Right now there's so many players playing below their capabilities that the team looks garbage. Right? Like, the Oilers don't look that competitive. And when I say, guys, McDavid's not playing close to his standards. McDavid has, in his career, he has never had, if I'm mistaken, he's never had a below 50% goal for percentage. He's below right now. Like, his expected goals is well above anywhere.
Didn't shoot the puck for a month to start the year, right?
But and his expected goals against is way higher, and that's expected goals against has nothing to do with goaltending. That's just defensive zone play. And it's higher than it's on pace to be the highest of his career by a long shot. He's had way more defensive turnover. Are they tired emotionally, physically, mentally? Maybe. I could buy that. They've played the most road games in the NHL. It's 14. It'll be 16 when they're done in Florida. So are the Oilers, like, there's outside of Colorado, I don't know if I see a dominant team. And so if you find it, like, you just got to get in the playoffs this year. Honestly, I don't think there's much separation. A lot of teams, you get in the playoffs, and the one thing the Oilers have shown, they get in the playoffs, they got a lot of guys who play better in the playoffs.
That you can't argue with that. It is the Titan Supply pregame show. Andrew Walker, Jason Gregor. We'll take a break. We'll be back to wrap up the pregame show. By the way, the River Cree over-under, in case you missed it, focusing on Brett Kulak's performance tonight. Will he be even or better? So even or better, 5-on-5 is a over, and anything minus is an under. Send us your guess on the Weiss Johnson text line. You could win $100 to the River Cree Resort and Casino, 1-833-401-1440. Okay, we'll be back with more after this. Sports 1440.
River Cree is the place for all your favorite sports. River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring UFC action and boxing live on the big screens at Tap 25, the MVP of sports bars, and in the Center Bar. Plus, catch this fall's biggest games, every goal, every tackle, every home run. River Cree is also home to the Twin Rinks, where rec hockey and community teams come to play. Public skating available. Details at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
At Nisku Ford, we want your visit to feel as comfortable as a holiday gathering. When you shop with us, you're not just a customer, you're family. And we always give our family the best.
And the whole family is going to love our November deals. Find your favorite Ford, then choose from 0% financing or rebates as high as $10,000.
Nisku Ford to your holiday visits, or make your wish list at niskuford.ca today. Above expectations.
Touch base on the Weiss Johnson text line, 1-833-401-1440. Keep your home warmer and energy costs down with a Goodman furnace installed by the pros from Weiss Johnson. Visit weiss-johnson.com for your new Goodman furnace.
Hey, Gary, is that your dad?
No, this is Evan, the new sales rep I hired.
Oh,
First impressions matter, but when hair loss takes over, it can feel like you're not being seen for the maverick you truly are. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we know that hair loss is more than just a cosmetic issue. It's personal. Let's discuss all the cutting-edge options available so you can make a great impression every time.
Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
He's heading into the driveway. Temperature's dropping fast, folks. He opens the hood and, oh no, the battery's on thin ice.
Yeah, that's a tough break, Tim. I mean, you can't expect to compete and win with weak parts in your game like that.
But wait, he's made a clutch move. He's gone to Napa Auto Parts for the win. They've got batteries, winter-grade oils, antifreeze, and wiper blades built for cold Alberta conditions.
That's a championship play, Tim.
With over 85 Alberta locations, visit your local Napa store today or shop online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
Across rural Alberta, volunteers and community groups work hard to make life better for their neighbors, creating new playgrounds, better rinks, and gathering places that bring us together. Vision Credit Union is proud to lend these local heroes a helping hand. Apply today for a Helping Hand grant up to $10,000 to support your community's next big idea. Let's make great things happen together. Applications are open until January 31st, 2026. Learn more at whatsyourshare.ca.
Winter in Alberta doesn't mess around.
And neither does Titan Supply.
For over 50 years, we've earned the trust of our customers across a variety of industries.
Because we lead with integrity,
honesty,
and respect.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Brent from Titan Supply. When the weather hits hard,
we're fully stocked with rigging, lifting, and hauling gear that works as hard as you do.
Titan Supply.
Built on trust, driven by safety.
Serving Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary.
Let us help you face the weather the Titan way.
Visit titansupply.ca.
Hey everybody, it's Chief Principe and Jason Stredler. Join us on a 7-night cruise through the Mexican Riviera, leaving from Los Angeles and including Cabo, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, and more. While we relax and cruise the tropical waters and have some drinks with umbrellas in them, you could attend an intimate meet and greet with legends like Bill Ranford, Jason Strudwick, Kelly Puckberger, Ron Lowe, Jack Michaels, Louis DeBrusque, and more. Don't miss out on every hockey fan's dream cruise, the Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise. It's going to be one hell of a trip. Price start at just $23.99. Part of the proceeds support the Ben Stelter Foundation and Kids with Cancer.
The Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise, July 2026. Visit cast.tours/Edmonton or call 1-833-347-7678. Book now and save $500 per cabin when you mention promo code Stingray Radio. That's cast.tours/Edmonton. Pre-matchups are brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. For all your automotive needs, go to your trusted experts in high-quality parts, tools, equipment, and more. That's Napa know-how.
Oilers pregame is brought to you by Titan Supply. Built on trust, driven by safety. The Titan way. Visit titansupply.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Elks Nation, 2 the podcast with Eddie Steele and Desmond Kruger, breaking down the green and gold. The most in-depth Double E football coverage on YouTube and anywhere you get your podcast, elksnation.ca.
Sports 1440 and the pregame show with Andrew Walker. We are Edmonton's sports leader.
All right, welcome back. One final segment before we get you back to the Jason Gregor Show. Oilers and the Tampa Bay Lightning coming up. In about 10 minutes from now, we're going to hear from the head coach momentarily for Vision Credit Union, Chris Knobloch. Oilers and Lightning coming up. It is the Titan Supply pregame show, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca. Greg's asking you a favor. The lineups for Nisku Ford, I know that you saw some changes. I don't have those in front of me. We're all this month. You can get rates as low as 0% or choose rebates as high as $10,000. Details at nisqford.ca. So how are they lining it up tonight?
Well, they're going to go 11-7, of course. Again, Pickard's going to start in goal. Hyman's going to start with McDavid and Roslovic, Draisaitl, Mangiapane, Podkolzin, Henrique with Frederick and Savoy, Tomasic with Janmark. And back end's the same. Nurse, Bouchard, Walman, Ekholm, Kulak, and Emerson. And then Regula, who played less than 2 minutes last night, will be the
old
extra defenseman.
The old Josh Brown playoff.
Oh God, yeah. That's a good pull.
Was he 2 shifts?
I think it might
2 shifts in game 2 or something like that.
I think it might have been I think it might have played 5 minutes because he took a few on the penalty kill. If I'm not mistaken. Tampa Bay, meanwhile, Cirelli with Kucherov and Hagel, Braden Point, Jake Gensel. Nick Paul will make his season debut tonight. Comes off LTIR. Yanni Gord with Borkstrand and Jurgensen. Dominic James with Gage Gonclaves and Big Curtis Douglas. On the back end, you've got Moser and Radish, then Cernak and Daustu, and then Lilleberg and Santini. So 4 defensemen with less than 200 games played. You got the youngster Dastu. No, I say he's youngster. He's 27.
Who's Santini?
Dastu. Santini's actually played 125
Dastu's
games.
fascinating. Read about this guy?
Yeah.
He's won best defenseman in like every league in the world, pretty much.
Well, Swedish and Finland because he played 3 years in Europe. I played in the American League. He was, he was in the. He's from Rimouski. Played for Rimouski in the Quebec Major Junior League. So, while he's coming from Europe, he's a guy who grew up playing the North American style game, and so Tampa Bay finds guys from over there. And now I'm sure the injuries to Hedman and McDonough play a factor in where he's playing.
Sure.
But if you're the Edmonton Oilers and you look at that blue line tonight, like this might be they've stunk in Tampa Bay in the McDavid-Draisaitl era. Like they've won once, 3-2. The other games they're 0-8, and they've been outscored 36-20 in those games. So really has 36-19. Excuse me, hasn't been close. So we'll see if they can do something. Obviously, Vasilevsky's pretty damn good, even to get by the defense. So definitely a tough pill tonight in Tampa.
So 2 years ago, the game in Tampa Bay might have changed their fortunes a little bit. You remember that? So they were, in that span of going, 2-9-1 or however they started. And they went to Tampa. And I remember it because I got up at 2 a.m. in Switzerland to watch it. And they finally played a heck of a game. They were really good. And I think I think Jack Campbell and I think Skinner was just starting to play a little bit. And they gave up like 7 goals on like 11 shots or something like that. It was just they outshot Tampa. I think they might have set a franchise record for shots or something like that. And that was like the straw that broke.
Like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my recollection of it.
All right. Well,
they finally played a good game. And I think they had 50 some shots. And they outshot. I want to say they outshot Tampa like 50-20, and they lost like 7-5. Like it was bad, really bad. And I don't think.
Well, that was in Edmonton, and that was against Skinner. They lost 7-5 against Tampa Bay.
It was this was.
That game was.
Are you sure?
100%.
Are you looking at the game log?
No, I'm not. But I know because
I gotta look.
I know that because Stuart Skinner came out after the room and said, "You know what? Everybody played well tonight except me. I was terrible." And that was the game. You're right. They had tons of shots against Vasilevsky, but they lost 7-5 on home ice.
I got to look this up really quick, which is always terrible radio when you're searching for something. But here, 23-24. Maybe I am misremembering, and I could be. Season starts. Loss, win. Loss. Tampa Bay loss 6-4 at Tampa Bay.
Okay, that's the game. Okay.
Yeah.
But now, what were the shots? Because the game where Skinner lost was at home against Vasilevsky.
This was in Tampa Bay, obviously, and the final shots. I have the box score here. You want the Seattle Vancouver box score from that night? I can get you that one. Here it is. Okay.
No, I don't.
Edmonton, Tampa Bay, 6-4. See how my memory is. The Oilers, they actually had made the coaching change already, so they fell to 5-10-1, and where are the shots on this thing? Skinner allowed 5 on 23, and Skinner actually saved their season that year, so I don't want to be hard on him. 5 on 23, and they had 42 shots on Jonas Johansson.
Okay.
So it wasn't quite my memory, but it was.
The one I'm remembering was in December at home. They lost 7-4. There was an empty netter, and but that was the night Stamkos had 4 goals, and the Oilers were all over him. Vasilevsky stopped 40. He stopped 53 of 57 that night.
Yeah, I might be combining those two.
Yeah, you might have been combining.
So it's a theme you're saying.
Yeah.
Against Tampa.
And like Edmonton hasn't done very well. And then Skinner allowed 5 on 22.
Yeah.
And that's when he said, because I remember it in the post game. He's like, yeah, everybody played well tonight except me.
Right. Let's hear from the head coach, Chris Knobloch, for Vision Credit Union, investing 100% in Alberta and giving back to the communities they serve, visioncu.ca. Speaking of Tampa, this is from the coach on the tests presented with the Lightning tonight.
Yeah, very dangerous. A lot of offense. I know they're maybe missing a couple defensemen, but the forward group is pretty much what they have, but very dangerous. And the team that's, despite being shorthanded, they're playing really well. So, we've had some high event games against Tampa Bay when we've played them in the years previous, and hopefully we can limit those events a little bit with them tonight and play a little bit better defensively.
All right, so for all the bad, all the chances against, there was a lot of bad last night, no doubt. However, it might have been, if you're looking for a bit of a positive note, it's the most comfortable and dangerous the Oilers' offense has looked top to bottom, perhaps all year. And yes, was it give up a chance to get a chance? Definitely. That's how it felt. However, they scored some goals from unlikely sources. They had all kinds of high danger. Frederick had a few. Mangiapane had a few. This is the coach on what he needs to see to continue that offense in Washington.
Yeah, getting around the net. Even just having guys around the net creates a lot more space on the outside, and they can make some plays. And I thought we did a pretty good job generating offense, but we got to do a better job on responding on transition. When we lose the puck, how are we getting back and getting above their guys? Too often we got caught, whether it's forwards just being late coming back or defense maybe a little over aggressive on the pinch, that they got a lot of chances off the rush, especially later in the game. It was more of the defensive zone early.
All right, so that'll do it for me in the Titan Supply pregame show, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit TitanSupply.ca. You got a couple of minutes before the drop of the puck, so if you haven't got your River Cree over-under guess in, you can do that. Brett Kulak, will he be even or better? That's an over. Anything minus is an under. So that's your guess for the River
that
Cree
5
over-under.
and 5 or just overall?
So plus minus, which
the
is 5 on 5.
School
Yeah.
plus. Well, no, that plus minus will include everything because empty net goals. That's why people look at Draisaitl's -3. Well, yeah, it was on for
It
2
will.
empty
It
net.
will include an empty net goal.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't
Not
know
that-
why.
not that he would be on there.
Yes,
Yeah.
but
So there you go.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. That's your River Cree. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, because I wonder if his streak will end because he's been outscored 15-0, 5 on 5.
I mean, odds are, your odds are
I'll say that
due.
If the streak ends, the Oilers win.
Don't do it. Okay.
Yeah, right. I picked Edmonton to lose. How about this though? On the out-of-town scoreboard, the Great 8 is heating up. Scored again tonight. That's 5 goals now in 6 games for the guy who's the greatest goal scorer of all time. And you've watched it we've all watched it for 2 decades. When Ovi starts feeling it,
he can get hot.
He can get hot with
Yep.
the best of them. And what's wild about it is his shot totals by his standards are the lowest of his career. Now, last year he had the best shooting percentage of his career at 18.6. And if you look at him, suddenly Ovi, who with the goal tonight now has 8 goals on the season, but he's got and his shooting percentage was 15.2 coming in. But he only had 46 shots, which for him isn't a ridiculous amount, right? It's like 2.3, 2.1. If he gets going, another 30-goal season, man, is not out of the 40-goal season. You can't count him out.
He had a great year last year, and it was, he had this whole mindset of breaking the record, which oddly enough didn't really take away from the team play. Like they rallied around it. They had a great year.
Oh yeah.
Obviously they won the Presidents, didn't they? So that was last year. And the year before, he was on fire for the final, 30 odd games.
Yeah.
And that's where people were really convinced, he could do it still. But that first half of 2 years ago, man, I was like, he's going to do it, but they are going to drag his corpse over the finish line because it was rough.
Yeah. But
it was hard to watch, but I give him credit. He has found another few years. And if you tell me he can't get 1,000, I don't like. If he wants it, he can probably do it.
Well, the record he is chasing right now this season that is doable
is the overall,
because Gretzky had 1,016,
including
playoffs and regular. No, I don't include, because then I got to include Ovi in Russia's elite. Because if you're going to include the WHA, then you have to include the KHL.
Because Gordy scored a bunch in the WHA. Right?
Yeah, but even then, it would have actually been Bobby Hull, who would have the second most too, right?
Because he was a 700 goal guy.
And he had 900, but
yeah,
still,
yeah,
you know, now if I'd have to look at his playoffs and see if it's the same. But I'm just looking at NHL playoffs and regular season because that's the NHL record. And Gretzky had 1,016 between the two of them. And Ovi now has 904. So he's at 981. So he needs 35 goals.
He only has,
now he needs 35 goals because he scored against tonight. So
he only has 70
goals.
odd playoff goals.
77, I think it is.
Feels a little. I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah.
It still feels a little low though.
Yeah. Well, it's a little bit due to games played, right?
Well,
But
because they lost. It took them a decade to get out of the first round.
yes, yeah,
Or out of the second.
He has 77 in the playoffs. So
Right.
yeah, and in 161 games, right? Like Gretzky's playoff record of goals, probably not going to get touched. I would think. You never know, but you got to be in a good team for a long time.
That does feel low considering, like, you know, Zach Hyman has, to name a guy, has like 40 career playoff goals. Right?
Yeah. Well, he had the 1 year. He had 16, right?
Yeah,
so that can really boost it. Do you know the 3 other players who have 100 career playoff goals other than Gretzky?
I mean, Messier has to be one.
Yeah, he has 109.
I actually want to say Anderson.
He has 93. He's
okay.
fifth.
Okay. So I'm not going to
Close.
say Anderson. Messier's one.
Yep.
Mike Bossy.
Nope. He had 85.
Yager.
No, he has 78.
Okay, I got to change my thinking here.
2 guys who scored 70 goals
2 guys who scored 70
in the regular season.
Esposito.
No, didn't play enough playoff games.
Solani.
Oh
God, now this is bad. This is really bad.
Yeah,
I'm trying to be
Curry.
I'm trying to be too. Yeah, of course.
Yari Curry,
Stupid,
106.
Yeah. And then give me a hint.
Played for. He won cup late in his career on a team when there was no salary cap.
Cup late in his career
Yeah,
on a
he's
team
a
with
Hall
no
of Famer.
salary cap. Hossa.
One of the greatest just pure shooters, one-timers in the game.
Brett Hull.
Yes.
Wow.
103.
That's I wouldn't. I don't know if I would have got that one. Obviously, a great player, great scorer, but
and they all played 200 playoff games too, right? Like Ovi's played 160. So
yeah,
and I know Ovi's still 12th all time. Like if he gets into the playoffs this year and scores 3 goals, then he'll be in the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, 100 playoff goals.
But you know what?
Man. Yeah.
How about Claude Lemieux is 9th all time in playoff goals?
Yeah,
guy played a ton of playoff games, but he was a pretty big gamer. And maybe though, if we're just looking at pure like goals per game, one of the greatest goal scorers in the playoffs is the Rocket. Maurice Richard had 82 goals and only 132
amazing
playoff games.
Going against plumbers and pipe fitters. Yeah, just a great player.
Yeah. No one else did it. That's what I always say. It's like, you're sounding like the kids today. Gretzky, everybody in the 80s was brown up. Really? How come
It's like all those old. It's like all those old baseball players. Like amazing. You didn't have to play against the black guys, but you know, you were really good.
They might have still been pretty good though. Yeah. I think Babe would have been all right.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't think so. Because all the best white guys still couldn't stop him. So we'll see. I get it to a point, but I also still think he'd have been pretty damn good.
Babe Ruth.
Yeah. When you're the best of the best at that time, you can bring in some other guys and they'll be good, but they're not all of a sudden going to be so much better than anybody you faced.
I'm not convinced. I think you plunk Babe Ruth in a batter box. I think he's getting laughed at Major League stadiums. I really do.
Today?
Yeah.
Well, they're trained different. If you take his hand, eye, and everything else, I don't think that goes away. You give him some training that they're allowed today. Like, it's like Gretzky think, well, Gretzky wasn't a great skater. I'm like, Gretzky, do you ever see Gretzky get caught from behind on a breakaway? Ever?
Oh yeah, he didn't let that, but he's I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an answer.
But that's why you can only compare guys to their era. And when you dominate your own era, unless you're going to say, well, that era is terrible. And I'm like, it's kind of hard to say the 80s is terrible. There's lots of really good players in there. Gretzky was just on such a different level than all. It was wild to me. Like, the more it's fun with my son now because I'm introducing him and he reads up all the stats and every now and then he just comes down. He'll find some new one and he's looking at it. He's just like, Dad, how did Gretzky do that? Like no one else is even close. Like how come they couldn't stop him? And I'm like, son's a good question.
He was era defining. No one had the things he did. And again, a whole generation of players muddled their way. I am a big Lemieux guy. I won't stand for the Gretzky's the third best player ever. I'm not going to get into that. Lemieux, I would have loved to see Lemieux healthy for his entire career because he was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah,
really ridiculous. And I don't think there's been a player like him.
Well, because he's such the size, right? 6'4". If Lindros kept his head up, maybe. Do we have a Trent Frederick sighting? We do. Trent Frederick.
The game has started.
Has scored
for
the Edmonton Oilers, and a hell of a goal too.
Hang on, is Kulak on the ice?
Oh God, let's look.
It's Frederick Draisaitl.
Draisaitl.
Oh, he's changing.
He's changing.
He's changing.
He's getting ripped off.
That's the classic Walker minus right there.
But yeah, one-timer from Frederick. Ooh, that's a huge goal.
Wow, how about that?
There you go. Okay. Dare to dream.
I'm late to first round, so I got to go.
Okay. Let's we'll return. That's the Gregor Show here in Sports 1440.
Oilers pregame is brought to you by Titan Supply. Built on trust, driven by safety. The Titan way. Visit titansupply.ca.
Wing Wednesday at First Round. Whether you're coming for the first round, the last round, or a few rounds in between, they've got you covered with half-price wings every Wednesday night. Half-price wings. Over 35 delicious flavors like Cajun salt and pepper, maple bacon, and Inferno wings. Now half-price every Wednesday night. Wash them down with a cold Planet Canadian or Coors Light for only $5.75. Half-price Wing Wednesdays at First Round in West End and now downtown. First Round, burgers, beer, sports.
He's heading into the driveway. Temperatures dropping fast, folks. He opens the hood and, oh no, the battery's on thin ice.
Yeah, that's a tough break, Tim. I mean, you can't expect to compete and win with weak parts in your game like that.
But wait, he's made a clutch move. He's gone to Napa Auto Parts for the win. They've got batteries, winter-grade oils, antifreeze, and wiper blades built for cold Alberta conditions.
That's a championship play, Tim.
With over 85 Alberta locations, visit your local Napa store today or shop online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
Every morning, you look in the mirror and see less of yourself. Hair loss can feel like losing a part of who you are.
But it doesn't have to be that way. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we understand the pain of hair loss. Our advanced hair restoration solutions won't just bring back your hair. They'll help you face the mirror with confidence.
Good morning, you sexy beast.
Visit drvancelliott.com today because it's time to be the man you remember.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
Think your credit's not good enough for a new ride? Think again. Go Auto's car loan calculator is here to help. No commitments, no credit hits, just real answers. You tell us a few things, and we'll show you what you can afford. Text credit to 780-777-7777. That's credit to 780 all sevens. Go Auto. We do the math, so you can do the driving.
This Black Friday, unlock incredible savings with Quello Concerts. Get 50% off our yearly and 2-year plans and enjoy unlimited access to the world's best concerts and music documentaries. Stream legendary performances anytime, anywhere for as low as $44.99 a year. It's the perfect gift for anyone who loves music. Visit stingray.com/deal and start streaming the world's best shows today.
Excavators, loaders, lifts, compaction equipment, and more. Find the XCMG construction equipment you need. Available for rental or sale at Japa Machinery Group. Japa, helping build Alberta from the ground up for 50 years. Visit japamachinery.com.
Hand delivering a hamper to a family in need fills everyone's hearts with joy. Be part of the Holiday Hamper program. Adopt a local family and see the difference your groceries and gifts make firsthand. Sign up today at holidayhamper.ca.
Aloha, Edmonton, it's back. Century Vision Care's 4th annual Maui Christmas event on Friday, December 12th from 9 to 5. Century Vision Care, Edmonton's biggest Maui gym retailer, is bringing the island spirit to your holiday shopping. Enjoy in-house savings on all prescription and non-prescription Maui gyms, plus giveaways, prizes, snacks, and beverages all day. Same-day eye exam appointments are available, and they direct bill most insurance plans, but spots are filling fast. Get ahead on your Christmas list and treat yourself to a new pair of Maui gyms. Visit Century Vision Care on Instagram.
Your all-access pass to the world of sports is Edmonton's only sports radio station.
From pre- and post-game hockey shows to in-depth analysis from your favorite commentators, the action never stops on Sports 1440.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Enjoy a taste of Hawaii with Papa John's Aloha Trio. Try the classic Hawaiian, Super Hawaiian, or Hawaiian barbecue chicken pizzas for only $19.99 each at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$5:47. Welcome back. Jason Gregor Show with Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. We'll have all the post-game reaction tonight. Oilers trying to get a win in Tampa Bay. Stop the bleeding in a place where they have only won once in the McDavid Draisaitl era. But who knows? Just when you probably thought they couldn't win, maybe they win. We'll see. We shall see. They've had a good start. They're leading 1-0. Trent Frederick, sniper, ripper. Absolutely rips one on a pass from Draisaitl by Vasilevsky. And that gave Edmonton the 1-0 lead. Then they had a power play that did absolutely nothing. Nada. And one long shot from Bouchard. That was pretty much it, unfortunately. Because there's a chance right there when you look at, and you go up 2-0 and just... God, you got some confidence, and it's almost like a momentum-sucking power play, although Tampa hasn't done anything since, but we shall see. Let's get to 5 questions now. Or sorry, not 5 questions, but the 2-minute warning with Cam Tate, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, home with no payments, no interest, for 1 year on your furnace. Stay warm all winter long, legacyheating.ca.
I want to gather everyone around the big old radio like it's a campfire in a starlit backyard and rewind. Yes, rewind with both hands and a grin back to Gregor's opening comments a few moments after 2 this afternoon. Comments that drifted through the air like a wise owl perched on a goalpost. Gregor said, watching the Edmonton Oilers is like watching a horror movie. And horror movies? We know them the way Edmonton knows potholes. Intimately, personally, and with an odd sense of inevitability. Despite knowing the creepy music means we should leave the house. Despite knowing the flashlight is about to sputter out like a bargain bin battery. We watch. We munch popcorn. We chew red licorice because black licorice is for villains and auditors. We grip whatever's nearby. Armrests, family members, emotional support pets who never agreed to any of this. And for those strange, brave souls who revisit the same horror film, something magical happens. Take Nicholson's "Here's Johnny" moment in The Shining. At the Edmonton premiere at Westmount Cinema, midnight, an hour so late even the moon was yawning, when Jack burst through that door with eyes wild as a raccoon in a compost bin, I nearly launched myself out of my buggy and into the concession stand. Now, I laugh every time. Connor Halley, are you floating along with me in this metaphorical canoe? Because the Oilers, these upside down in a tornado Oilers, are playing hockey that feels like a haunted house, constructed entirely from broken Zamboni parts. And now, with this Florida road trip, Tampa tonight, Sunrise Saturday if nobody grabs the steering wheel, ideally someone wearing a wizard cape or at least reading a map, this team could become the giggle-inducing spectacle of the NHL. That's the whimsical heartbreak. 2 trips to the Stanley Cup final should be golden feathers in the Oilers' jaunty cap. Yet the scariest part, the part that makes me blink slowly, is that the Oilers might soon be laughed at. And that is the real horror movie. 2-minute warning. Gregor, Halley, Tate, Kruger. Weekdays. Sports 1440.
Con man, the Oilers tonight. Hey, not only did Frederick score, the drought is over. Brett Kulak on the ice for a 5-on-5 goal. Connor Halley, not a goal. So the streak ends at 15, which is good. That is a much needed. Trust me, if you're Brett Kulak and you've been on the ice for 15 consecutive goals, 5-on-5, you're never celebrating. Just to be on the ice to go and tap a helmet, like it can change a guy. There's no question. So hopefully that gets things trending in the right direction for Brett Kulak. That is a good sign.
That might be under the breath. Finally. And yeah, you're right. I feel like we're happy to see it too, because Kulak seems like a pretty good guy. Someone he's been steady Eddie for this team, and it's just been a really bad month. So hopefully that's a turning point for him.
Yeah, you hope so for sure. So the Oilers, hey, they're off to a good start. When you get home, you watch that game. Edmonton has been all over them so far here. 8 minutes in, and it's only 1-0. See, that's the difference now. You got to find a way. You have all the momentum. You got to find a way to get that next goal if you're the Edmonton Oilers, because we've seen stretches where they play well, Cons. The Philly game was a great example. They didn't create many chances, even though they were leading 1-0 and Philly didn't give up anything. Didn't get anything. Tampa Bay's got way more skill than Philadelphia does. So they'll have to find a way. They've won some battles. They've created some opportunities. McDavid got stopped on a breakaway. It's been a good start for the Oilers. We'll see if it can continue tonight. Walker and Paulson will have all of the post-game reaction. Have yourselves a wonderful Thursday. We'll break it all down. We'll talk a Stanley Cup rematch tomorrow on the show. And a big weekend in the NFL. And are the Raptors for real? We got to go there. We got to talk a little Raptors tomorrow as well. On behalf of Halley, Declan Kruger, I'm Jason Gregor. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. Let's get to a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, where the rates never change. No overtime charges. That's how you build a legacy at legacyheating.ca. Good night.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
It's early, but the Oilers up on the Tampa Bay Lightning 1-0 midway through the first. Once this one wraps up, Andrew Walker, Donovan Paulson, and Lannon for all of your post-game coverage. Elsewhere, Blues up on the Flyers 2-0. The Devils trail the Panthers 1-0. Islanders have a 2-0 lead over the Red Wings. Habs and Capitals tied at 1 apiece. Ovi with his 8th goal of the season in that one. And the Jackets and Leafs scoreless after 20. Later on tonight, Blackhawks host the Kraken. Rangers in Denver. The Mammoth up against the Golden Knights. Stars take on the Canucks. And the Ducks hosting the Ottawa Senators. In the NFL, Week 12 gets going tonight. Texans and Bills from Houston. That one's set to go at 6:15. Keon Coleman will not play for the second straight game as a healthy stretch. 4 games in the association. Second quarter, Magic of a 45-36 lead over the Clippers. Later on tonight, Grizz and Kings. Sixers taking on the Bucks, and the Spurs host the Hawks. And college football, Arkansas State up 3-0 over the Ragin' Cajuns of Louisiana. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
It's Sports 1440.